check out this, elder. Here's a nurse. She done came up with a great idea on what to do against ICE agents if they need any health care. If they find themselves in a hospital or need nurse care. Now, I'm pointing this out because if she think like this here, how many of those people think like this when our people go into some of these institutions they call hospitals?
Right.
Listen to her idea on what to do with ICE to show you the nut jobs they have in trusted positions, institutions our people depend on to live. This is a nurse. Think about this, and now think about them being celebrated.
Systematic genocide on God's people in America through the healthcare system.
A few years ago when the bug was promoted. People depend on to live. ICE to show you the nut jobs they have in trusted positions, institutions our people depend on to live. This is a nurse. Think about this, and now think about them being celebrated a few years ago when the bug was promoted. Who are these people? Check her out.
215. It's lagging, so hold on.
Check her out.
Tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers grab some syringes with needles on the end.
Grabbed some syringes with needles on the end. Now, let alone, you can look at her eyes. She's bugged out. That's first.
Yep, demon possessed out of her mind. Yeah. She's demon possessed. That's what happens when you're a pagan. You don't believe in Christ, follow the Bible, you sin, drugs, alcohol, whatever the hell. You get possessed by demons. You know. Telling people on camera that she's about to unalive somebody through a damn syringe as being a nurse on camera. She's demon possessed out of her mind.
First start there. Okay? So you get some of these liberal nut jobs who power.
This is why, power corrupts. Those demons get in place. We want to deal with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers in high places. All right? High places. High authority, high positions that we trust in, and they got people that feel lack of knowledge. So, people gotta wake up, bro. Oh yeah, this is what I was saying about why I keep saying the healthcare system is a death care system, bro. Satanists run all that stuff, so we're trusting in Satanists to cure us, to help us. That's what the Bible tells us. We die for lack of knowledge. Those Satanists ain't helping us, bro. Herbs cure all things, the Bible tells you. We don't need no drugs, bro. Witchcraft in the Bible tells you that it's pharmaceuticals, drugs, poison, and all that stuff. In the New Testament, it's witchcraft, bro.
Who get in positions where they relish the thought of having power over others' lives.
Mm-hmm. A demon getting up in there. A demon. Right.
All right? So when you get some of these quacks, some of these nut jobs, they go into some of these trusted institutions because
you can tell it's a demon. She's recording herself saying she's about to unalive somebody, and she's looking straight crazy. That's a demon, right? Demons don't abuse power to unalive people in a trusted place for help. That's why the Bible tells you, God, people, they stay in oppression. They trust in oppression and stay their own, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're like sheep. You know, something's wrong with your kid, your baby, something wrong after you gave them some. Hey, pandemic too. They will blame everything but the hospitals. They'll blame everything but they'll blame God. They'll blame all that shit. They'll blame the man, the sperm. They'll blame God, but they won't blame the actual culprits, the hospitals, for actually doing that to your babies, your kids. So you gotta wake up.
They get a rush to know at any point, at any moment, I could take a life, and guess what? Nothing will happen to me.
Yeah, in this world, but when she passed on, she burning in hell.
Right? So these crazed.
That's what happens when you're a pagan who don't believe. Pagans worship fallen angels and demons. That's what happens when you're a pagan. You think you can get away with all this demonic stuff. You know? You can't.
Liberal, crazed white women. Right?
All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, whatever.
She even putting out the drug that she know will paralyze and or unalive people. I need y'all to think about, these are the people that we're supposed that our lives are in their hands.
Wake up.
She even put it out there.
People want to be ignorant of everything. The Bible tells you, Hosea, God's people, my people die for lack of knowledge. God's people, and since you reject knowledge, I will reject you and your kids and shit. Knowledge and power is the Bible, bro, and truth is Christ. You deny truth, which is knowledge, which is the Bible. You denying Christ. So, you gotta be up in that Bible, bro. And there's nothing to do under the sun. They've been doing this stuff. Rome, Egypt, Babylon. There's nothing new on the sun. They've been genociding us through that damn healthcare system. Look at the Baphomet statue on Satan's lap and all that, with the snakes twirling around and all that stuff. That's the same symbol as on all these hospitals, bro. It's Satan, bro. Wake up.
All the nurses, the liberal nurses, need to do. And now I understand why Bill Gates years ago said, well, if grandma or grandpa, if they are, don't live an extra 3 to 4 months, and we can hire more nurses and teachers, that's a benefit. If we can take away a few months that, of grandma or grandpa, and then we can finance more teachers and nurses, then, but no one wants to talk about that because it's the death panel. So if they decide that, guess what, your mother and father...
Then they got the assisted KRYS machines and all that shit. That shit is all satanic. They want you to just die already so you won't repent. So you can just go down to hell or something. So people gotta wake up, man. They use psychology, sorcery, to make you think you got something. You only got 3 months, couple days, or whatever the hell. Then when you start believing that, the symptoms will happen. Sorcery, bro. Shit like that, man. They'll just diagnose you with something when you don't when there's nothing wrong with you. ADHD and all this other garbage. Just to get you on something that would put you in the ground, So wake up, man.
Up in the hospital, and they want to pull the plug or do something where it saves, because now they're not going to get the Social Security or retirement. That money can go towards more teachers and nurses. Now we understand why he was spouting this. Look at what they want to invest in. So this is her answer for ICE. I'm gonna play it all the way through, and then you can tell me what you think about this, Elder. Pull it all the way through.
Sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent.
Here is your daily reminder that it is a federal crime to interfere with ICE agents. The woman in this video is an employee at VCU Health, and she's encouraging people to take syringes filled with various...
Yep, hey, she made a video on that and got caught, but I guarantee you, this world is satanic and pagan. If there's one, there's many. Bible tells you 90% will fall. So she made that one video, got fired. There's probably a bunch more people doing the same thing. All right? I'm telling you, when these nurses or doctors, they give you something, you were completely fine beforehand. Now all of a sudden you about to be in the grave, and they keep seeing that like a pattern, like pandemic. They know what they doing. It's just, they went to college and all that too. Are they gonna quit their job, or are they gonna compromise with Satan and keep putting people in the ground? So, hey, their choice, bro.
Liquids and stab ICE agents with them. She's calling these her resistance tips, and since these videos were posted, VCU Health came out with a statement saying that she's been put on administrative leave. People see.
Hold up, Elder. So she still is receiving a check.
Crazy.
She hasn't been fired. She's been put on administrative leave. All right? Let's check this out.
Seem to forget that just because they're sitting behind their phone in either the privacy of their own home or their office, that their words most definitely still have consequences. Kudos to VCU Health for doing the absolute bare minimum.
They don't. It was just a decree to all the other nurses to do this. She knows. These demons know they're not dumb. Right?
And putting this woman on administrative leave after she so blatantly and obviously is encouraging people to hurt ICE agents.
It ain't to hurt them. It's to unalive their ass. That's what they be doing in these damn, what they be giving you in these damn institutional, these hospitals and shit.
Any opinion on this, Elder? The woman who says she actually put out the agents to use syringes to use as weapons against ICE agents. Now, think about this in the vein of what we've just gone through when the earth shut down a few years ago.
Yep. Then they do the same thing to Israelites, Hebrews in the Bible too, by the way. Every time we was in servitude, they always try to use that healthcare system to destroy us. They did that too. And abortion, which is more like sacrifice. Killing our babies and kids and all that stuff. That's... Wake up.
You have anything to say on that?
Not much outside of if you're willing to use it for this cause. What stops you from using this same tactic, as she called it? She referred to it as a tactic. What stops you from using this tactic on any other group that you don't agree with or that you don't like or that doesn't favor your opinion or your political views?
Because that's her personal view on how to nullify an enemy. So then we have to really we really have to understand her view of what an enemy is and what happens when they're under her sway. Suppose she have a problem with black people.
And that up in that syringe, she's gonna slip something up in there, and all of a sudden, you burying your loved ones. Guys, people die for lack of knowledge. You give birth up in there. Man, you leave your babies at the hospital. You don't take them home. They put something up in them. All of a sudden, something happens to your baby, or they got Downs, autism, or whatever. Hey, better wake up. Then people want to blame the man. They want to blame God. No, it's not them. It's the Satanists in power. So the Bible tells you, God's people die for lack of knowledge. Since you reject knowledge, I will reject you and your kids. Because the Bible speaks of all this stuff. If she was in the truth in the Bible, you would know not to trust them because the system is satanic. All right? So, you would have been saved if you was in that Bible. But since you want to reject the Most High in Christ, the Creator, hey, He's going to reject you. Well, wake up.
See that?
Right.
So if she can do this and say this outright publicly, obviously she's emboldened to do this in the
She
cover of night when no one's looking,
She did it before too, and other
knowing
people
that
are
there'll
doing
be
it.
no consequences if she was to. And who knows how many times they've been tasked with having to give someone this to make their the patients comfortable.
In the
she's
dirt,
desensitized.
in the ground.
When they're told to put something in that syringe, they know it's gonna.
And these people are satanic. They're Satanists. They're pagans. They worship Satan. They're demon possessed out of their minds. Imagine being a nurse or a doctor. Everybody knows you're supposed to help people and save people's lives, but yet you're doing the opposite. That's a demon. People better wake up, bro. I'm telling you. This is the same thing I remember. This is the same thing. Well, I'm not gonna put that out there, but you know. You have all of these Israelites, these black people. They're actually Israelites. They're not African. They all say this. A lot of them about these hospitals. I've seen videos. This dude ran out the hospital because they were trying to murder this dude, bro. Bro, wake up. Most High is saving people. They don't even know it. Without the Most High in Christ, most Israelites be gone, bro. Through the healthcare system and all this stuff, we've been gone. Because they trying to genocide us, bro. Bro, wake up. The government.
Live a person because the family have agreed to it now, they become desensitized. They believe that giving someone this stuff is normal. They've been doing it so long. So in case any of you missed this, so when I seen this, Elder Lawyer, I was like, oh my goodness.
Sabotage tactic, or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers grab the syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline, succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent.
Here is your daily reminder that it is a federal crime to interfere with health agents. The woman in this video.
Sabotage tactic.
It's funny. It's a federal crime. I mean, she's ignorant, but you know, the government don't care. They've been doing those crimes against us since we got here, since the beginning, really. Murdering all the damn Native Americans over here. Killing the white man, raping the white, re-educating their children to be pagans and Satanists, you know. They talking about ICE, but this has been on Israelites, black people, forever, you know. So it's funny, man.
Or at least scare tactic. All the medical providers grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline, or succinylcholine, whatever. That will probably be a deterrent.
Here is.
And let me tell you, lawyer, this
Demon
generation
possessed.
is in trouble.
Hell yeah, they in trouble. You think people believe and know this? People don't even do research. This is why I always tell people to do the research. They're just ignorant of everything. These people, some people don't believe there's one. They don't believe in Christ, but it doesn't matter. The Bible is real, and according to the Bible, if you're a blind man in America, you are an Israelite. Whether you believe that or not, you still gonna be cursed because you sinned it, and you still gonna be systematically genocide, and the government has a target on you. Doesn't matter what you think you are, African. You think you're African. The government knows who you are. Alright? Because some people want to deny, I'm not Israelite. I'd rather be some African. And Africans are Hamites, and Hamites are literally cursed to be slaves from Noah. If you read that story, that's why they call us Ham or African, because they want us to be slaves. Because freaking Ham was cursed. So people better wake up, man. People go to these hospitals like they actually care about you, bro. Even if they do care, even if the doctor is not some demon-possessed person, corrupted by power, he still has to do his job and follow the system. It's not like a righteous doctor can just come up in there like, we have to change this. I can't do this. He has to do his job or he's fired. He can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, There's certain things, books, textbook, they have to go by the book, bro. They can't just switch it up. Or whatever, so. Then there's other people in the hospital that are following the satanic program, and they're looking at that doctor like, you better give them that, or you fired. So even those doctors, do they compromise with Satan and keep administering death, or they quit their job and let the Most High guide them? Because they think, okay, if I quit, I'm going to lose everything. I went to college, I'm going to lose all my money. Hey, that's how you get with the Most High, bro. Some people don't want to compromise. Some people don't want to give up. Look at the disciples. They threw away everything. Life, money, all that shit. So, some people don't want to do that shit, bro. Because in these hospitals, they know what they're doing, bro. They're not dumb. Right? They see it. All those doctors are compromisers.
Cause when we teach this, a nation divided against itself cannot stand. What's one of the biggest issues plaguing America when it comes to family and all that right now? The fact that it's not just a divide between the conservatives and liberals. Men and women have been totally separated. I need you to think about this. In the scriptures, it talks about the lack of men at the very end of all of this. And what she just put out there, she just gave women ideas who are nurses. I need y'all to think about this, folks. We're coming in a time where things are going to be harder. Money is drying up. Jobs are drying up and all this. Relationships on the rocks. And you're going to have a lot of women, after seeing this, that's going to find out about this, who works in nursing places, who's going to be using this as a weapon. Especially against a man who have an issue with and all that. The relationship ain't going right, or he done went out and now he's doing what he want to do. I'm going to tell y'all folks, you're going to have a lot of women saying, what is this again? Using Google, looking into it. Nurses and all that, giving people the tools they need against.
Yep, telling live people and these nurses and shit. They'll look up how to do that. This is how satanic and pagan the world is. They'll look up how to do all that stuff, but yet not the Bible. And that's something. I don't know, man. People.
Man, it's coming. And listen, don't tell me, elder lawyer, I'm showing my age right now. Don't tell me it's not going to happen. Lorena Bobbitt, she was on all these talk shows. Oprah was talking about it. Lorraine Bobbitt, she went, her man was doing wrong, and then his wife castrate him and go throw his member on the road. And on the talk show, all the women were laughing, and then there was an uptick, an epidemic of men getting separated from their situations. Right? When Waiting to Excel came out, and Angela Bassett put all those clothes of her husband in the car and threw a match and walked away. Folks, we up in the hood and cars is on fire. So I'm gonna tell you. So don't tell me that people who are watching this
if you're still on the stream, this is a video of a nurse saying that if somebody comes in there and she disagrees with his politics or views, she's gonna put something in that syringe to kind of put him in the dirt. Nurses or whoever, hospitals, whoever. Hey, got people die for lack of knowledge. You gotta wake up, bro. These institutions we call hospitals, they've always been satanic The symbol is satanic. It's on the Baphomet. So, wake up.
Isn't going to do this and use it as
You got demon-possessed people power tripping.
a weapon. So it's being when I put here a nation divided against itself cannot stand. This nation is divided on every level. The Most High separating the Israelites from the Gentiles. Us coming back to Christ. On top of that, the liberals are now fighting against the conservatives because their money is drying up. And guess what? Their gig has been exposed. Now, some people might ask, well, why is Esau, being the conservative who's always been down with the liberals controlling us, why are they now exposing the grift? The nonprofit grift that kept us enslaved. Well, if they're being paid to keep us under control, and we found out without their help that we're God's people, and they can no longer control us in their institutions. Let's get there real quick. Deuteronomy 28, Elder Lawyer, and 28 and 64. And 64. Let's read that.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy 28, verse 64.
Okay.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So in the
Objects of worship or pictures. In the Ten Commandments, make no image above the in the heavens, below the earth, in the waters, none of that stuff. It's sin. It's paganism. All these religions got idols in it. All religions come from Babylon, Tower of Babel. It's satanic and pagan. Christianity or Catholic has nothing to do with the Bible or Christ. They don't teach us the road Christ or the Bible. They put up a false image, Caesar Borgia, second son of the Pope of Rome, Alexander VI. Caesar Borgia, the false image of Christ they put up as Christ. He would be called Jewish, but he's a Roman. He would be called Jewish today, but Jewish people are Romans. He was a Roman, right? Roman. Poisoner, killer, murderer, gay, and all this stuff. Criminal. So they put that dude up as Christ. Not even a good person. That was just a Roman. You know what I'm saying? Gay lover, Leonardo da Vinci was painting his ass. They were gay and all that stuff, so people gotta wake up. Then Jesus, that's not his name. That's Greek. Greek language is for Romans. And again, Romans killed Christ, killed disciples, destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD. Christ wasn't a Roman. He was a Hebrew. The letter J didn't exist back then. That's a modern letter. He was a Hebrew. The Savior in Hebrew, that's his name. He was called Savior, saved, right? In Hebrew, ancient Hebrew Venetian, that's the original. Not the Yiddish, the ancient Hebrew Venetian is the original language, closest to the original. Yeshua. So that's his real name. Then going back to Exodus 3:13-14, that he and Christ was the Son that was sent. I came not to do my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. And Christ said, don't think for a moment in your mind that I can't destroy the laws of the prophets as well. You have to keep the laws and commandments, right? Being lawless is Satanism, all right? That's literally what that is. You're a Satanist if you are lawless. You're following Satan. Christ says there's two masters. Most High Christ in the Bible, not Christianity or religion, in the Bible, or Satan. So you gotta pick. Exodus 3:13 through 14. Oh yeah, another different Christ. He's dark skinned with white hair, according to the Bible. Revelation 1:14 through 15. Daniel 10:6. Dark skin, white wool hair. Bronze skin as it was burned in a furnace. White woolly hair. Wake up. Wake up. Exodus 3:13 through 14 in the Bible. The Father, the Creator, right? On the throne and all that. And Christ sits at his right hand side and stuff. I am that I am in English. Or for sure, just I am. He gave the short in the same verse. Then same language, Hebrew, Venetian, ancient Hebrew, Venetian. Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. Then for short, he gave in the same verse, Ahaya. So, Most High, Ahaya. Father, Most High, Ahaya. The Son, his Son, Christ, your side of the Savior. Then you got the Mother, which is the Godhead, the 1, 2, 3, three witnesses in heaven, heavenly family. Holy Spirit, which is a she is wisdom and all that. Bible tells you it's a she, and that's the as is in earth, as is in heaven. That's the real family, not three dudes with the Holy Trinity, which is Babylonian. In the Holy Trinity, there's not one word in the Bible. There is no Holy Trinity in the Bible. They mention the Godhead multiple times. Alright? So wake up. And they're separate. It's been proven that they're separate a million times in the Bible, so read it. So you got the virgin birth is a lie, free grace is a lie, Christ coming for war is a lie, holidays lies, Sunday worship lies, Sabbath is on Saturday, that's the first day of the week. You gotta wake up. Disciples and all that being white lies. Acts 13, 1 through 4, King James Version Bible. Prophets, disciples is called N-I-G-E-R in the Bible. Look it up. So wake up. Wake up, sheep. That Christianity shit is run by Satanists, Roman Catholics. They're Romans. Romans didn't go nowhere. They call themselves Roman Catholics. They're Romans. They follow they're Babylonians. They don't follow Christ at all. So wake up, man. All religions are influenced by synagogue of Satan. From Babylon. Roman Catholics. So they don't follow the Bible of Christ at all. Christianity been pagan and satanic since Constantine took it over in 325 AD. Alright? Romans came in and totally destroyed Christianity. So you gotta follow the book, not the religion. Religions are lies. The Bible itself is fine. King James Version only, by the way. Because everything else is they took out and added on. It's King James Version Bible. King James was, he had 9 kids and a wife and all that. The ruler in the Dark Ages. Everything they told you about him is a lie too. So wake up.
Curse, we would serve other gods, predominantly the gods of the Gentiles.
Religions.
Like Nimrod and Semiramis under the Catholic Church when it comes to the wood, showing a dead man that have nothing to do with Christ on a cross as a form of religious control. Stone represent that rock in Mecca, which has nothing to do with Abraham. So, why are the liberals getting exposed right now? And their grift is now being highlighted and magnified before the world. It was their position to keep us from ever finding out. They were paid to come amongst us to keep us disoriented, confused, against one another, and we still rose above their deceit and begin to convert the poor into understanding that they are in fact God's people. The liberals dropped the ball, so they're no longer useful. If they cannot control the slaves, then guess what? The gravy train has dried up on them. If you can't control the slaves, because once they find out the gig is up, our riches is based on them complying to servitude. Based on them just agreeing with their low status. We put y'all nut jobs in place to keep them disoriented, confused, and that's what your paycheck is for that. Now our people are questioning everything. We're questioning shots. We're questioning the educational system. We're questioning everything now. And then on top of that,
Yep, because everything is satanic. It saves the world, Satan deceives the whole world. 90% will fall, 10% be a remnant. Broad is the way to destruction, and then there's straight path for the way to the kingdom, if you will find it. And the Bible says all this, by the way. Look it up. We'll say when Christ was fasting 4 days and 40 nights, Satan came up to him, showed him all the nations of the world, if he will bow down to him and all that stuff. Christ refused. Then the Bible also tells you on his return, the armies of the world will be against him. So broad means majority, so the whole world knows something, accepts something, does something, goes the opposite way. That's 90% that will fall to hell with Satan. You gotta be that small minority remnant. You can't follow the word. You can't follow everybody else. If you do, you fall. If everybody's jumping off a bridge, you're about to follow them. Better wake up, man. Better wake up. Because people love following everybody else, huh? Well, everybody knows this. Everybody knows. Okay, well, they're all going to hell then, like the Bible says. You know? Christ did not come for the world. Christ literally said, the world hated you. No, they hated me first. Wake up. Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, shall deceive many. Who's coming in Christ's name but Christians? Any denomination, Catholics or whatever. Nobody else. They're deceiving the world, bruh. They're deceiving people. They don't teach the real Christ in the actual real Bible, right? They don't teach you the real doctrine of Christ or Christ. They don't give you the real Christ either. Wake up.
Getting exposed, Elder Lawyer, is they're stomping hard for strangers who are not invested in this country at all. Harder than they've ever stomped for us. And our people are looking back at this and saying, hold up now. This is interesting. When it came a time where our people needed something, y'all would always retort as Democrats, well, I can't do but so much. Or, I can't do it because of the Republicans. But then we look at it and our people are struggling, we're losing our jobs, our children are suffering, we have no money, and here it is, we come to find out you got billions for Somalis? You know, Judah started looking at this and like, well, hold up now. The math ain't math in here. We've always backed Democrats. We've always been behind you, even if we didn't agree with your immoral ways. Without us, none of you would have positions. So when that light came on, Elder Lawyer, and our people started looking at our conditions and say, well, hold up, out of nowhere, you can find money for people that you have no vested interest in, people from someplace else, somewhere else. And it changed the whole game. Because a nation divided against itself cannot stand. And they've totally disrespected and offended their only voting base that kept them in position. So there's another divide there. Judah from the Democrats.
Israelites.
And it doesn't mean that Judah is going to become Republican. Judah is saying, you know what? It's time for us to chart our own path. Outside a system from either side, Democrat or Republican, who both are incentivized to keep us on the bottom. And the Most High made it that way. Because the only path that's out there outside of this system, the system of slavery, is the truth of Christ and the knowledge of who we are.
Yeah.
Right? So now our people, Elder, are saying, okay now. Now, on top of this, Elder, you got Nick Fuentes. right? A card carrying, unapologetic racist. But guess what? I respect Nick Fuentes. Okay, I respect him because he's one of the few that's willing to speak honestly with how he truly feels. He's not like the liberals and others who feel disdain against us or against anything, but will conceal their evil intent by smiling and agreeing with us the whole time. One thing I can respect about this guy, you know what? He's gonna shoot straight. He said, listen, I'm for white people. I'm for conservative. He says he's for white Christians. He don't have to apologize for it. He's for his people first. Thank you. On top of that, he's saying, well, listen, he don't want to pay no tax money where his country he paying taxes for is being controlled by an outside entity. He's exposing Israel as the true controller, as he mentioned, of America, which is what? A conflict of interest.
They are.
So now there's a divide between
And they're Romans, by the way. Jewish people are Romans. They're
the
not
white
Jews.
racist Aryan and or the white racist Jew, because there's white racists amongst all these different groups. So now they both agree to keep us enslaved, and now they're going against one another. Right? So how can America stand? Being divided more so on every level than it has ever been since its inception.
Christ said, the nation cannot stand if it's divided against itself. It's doomed for desolation. Wake up.
It would be impossible for a country as divided as this to survive long term. And I can give you some examples, even though there were.
And they know this too, because they put in place so much divide and conquer on purpose. Like politics, really. Religions. Even though it's all the same at the top, and it's really just acting. They did that on purpose to separate us, you know? So, if we can't come together, how are we supposed to solve anything? Wake up, man. Satan's tactics, Roman's tactics.
Racism and division between blacks in America and the whites, Edomites who were over the enslavement. When it came time to stand together and rally for self-preservation, we united because we had something in common. We had families. So when there was an outside threat and there was a war that was declared, we put those racist things aside to defend our families. Every war, you can name it. Be it a lot of people don't know this, the Revolutionary War, where America so-called gained independence from Great Britain. That couldn't have not have happened without the blacks. With a promise, and they reneged on this, with a promise to not enslave us, or to keep it, or work a program to eventually move our people out of slavery into the constitutional rights as what? An American citizen. A lot of people don't know this. We fought in those wars. The Civil War. Guess what? The North would have lost if we weren't there. Every war, we were there. Right? But now it's something different. We're sitting back and allowing them to carry the whole burden of Babylon, Elder Lawyer, alone. And they don't know how to deal with this iteration of Judah. Okay? This iteration of Judah is no longer emotionally invested. We tried everything we could to be appreciated. We tried everything to show that we're not a threat, that we just want to be treated like people. We've tried everything to be unified, fought for not just our rights, but the rights of every person throughout the earth. And continually, they did what? They showed us their narrow red behinds. So now, Judah is in a different place right now. Judah is indifferent. It's not like Judah doesn't care at all. But Judah isn't invested. Judah is saying, we tried everything else. We're going to try something we never tried before. We're disengaging. We're going to read our books, read our Bible, follow our God, and get our issues together amongst us. In particular, we expand this, being that we understand who we are beyond Judah. But I'm talking about the view from an American, black American view, who are from the tribe of Judah. But now it's like all the 12 tribes that come to the knowledge of the truth. We're going to follow the Most High together. We're going to gather together, those two sticks together. And guess what? We're going to respect everything that's going on out there as far as hope that it works out for you all. But we will not engage for no reason. Right? Someone says we're eating our popcorn. There it is. Right? So let's check out, Elder Lawyer, a few of these, what's going on, and then we're gonna read what Christ said. A matter of fact, let's read, Elder Lawyer. Let's go to Isaiah 32 and 5 real quick. Isaiah 32, verse 5. Right?
Yes, sir. The book of Isaiah 32, verse 5.
Isaiah, and this is what happens when Israel began to rise from up under the curse. The liberals lose their power, and eventually the Edomite powers are saying, well, why are we financing you if the children of Israel are no longer trusting the system anymore, or
the satanic system anymore, because they're waking up. Most High's waking them up, and they are black and they are Hebrew. Well, Israelites. Hebrew is just a language, but they're not African or black. Obviously, 70 AD Israelites ran to Africa to hide from Roman persecution because Romans were destroying the whole damn place. Same people who killed Christ's disciples. Then we sat there for 1,000-something years. Then we sinned. Then the Bible tells us, Deuteronomy 20:68, if you sin, you'll be put on slave ships under your enemies into your land your fathers never known, serving wood and stone, Christianity, Islam, and you'll be at the bottom of all people, cursed and all. That's where you get all those stereotypes or whatever, cursed, and all that stuff. So, servitude, no man shall redeem you, only Christ will, and all this shit. So, people better wake up. You forget who you are and your heritage and all that. That's why we have quote-unquote identity issues or whatever the fuck they be trying to say. Quote-unquote. All curses from the Bible, bro. Deuteronomy. Go read the curses from Deuteronomy, and that only fits one people. Tell you that right now. That's why you have freaking Israelites. That's why you have black people in slavery singing all those Hebrew songs in slavery, bro. Straight Hebrew songs. That's not African songs. That's not Ham. Hamites, Egyptians, Libyans, Ethiopians, they're pagans. They don't follow no God, the Hebrews. So You gotta wake up, bro. Just because we're black doesn't mean we're African. Just because we're dark skinned, I guess. Not black, but you know. And white people ain't white anyways. They're Edomites, they're Romans. So there's not just left-right paradigm, the usual BS. There's 12 tribes of Israel. Mexicans, Issachar, Naphtali, Hawaii, and Native Americans were Israelites too. 2nd Esdras 13, River Euphrates, year and a half journey. They had laws and commandments, and they're speaking Hebrew, and they had the Most High's name. Video proof. They're talking about some Ahaya dancing around and stuff. That's literally the Most High's name. Exodus 3:13 and 14 in the Bible. Ancient Hebrew Venetian. Right? So yeah, people gotta wake up, man. Venezuelans, Cubans, you know, Jamaicans, Haitians as Dominicans, Mexicans, Hispanics, those are Israelites. So wake up.
Or willing to follow the liberal way. If you can't keep the children of Israel in sin and under control, then guess what? We have no use for you anymore. We're going to dry up your money. We're going to show people the con game of how you've been using money and cycling it into your campaigns and all of this. And guess what? Your immigration trying to replace us right up under our foot isn't going to work. See? Because we would have to vote you into power in order for you to legalize all of these people into law and make them citizens. They was all, Elder Lawyer, they was this close. They almost had everyone conned. And in position, they was right there talking about a fast track to citizenship. That's how close they were. And now our people seeing this and like, oh, one more administration, it would have made the black people in America's political power obsolete. They were close. See? Elder Lawyer, let's read it.
Yes, sir. Isaiah 32, verse 5.
Isaiah 32, verse 5. Let's read this.
The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the curl said to be bountiful.
So, the vile person, which are really these liberals, shall no longer be called liberal. These are the people we've attached ourselves to. The vile person will no longer be called liberal. Let's get liberal in the Hebrew. All right? That's Nadiab. Right? Voluntary, that is generous, that is hence magnanimous, grandy, free, don't forget, free sex, liberal, and all these others. Liberal, noble, prince, willing. Right? So it says the vile person shall no more be called liberal. Maybe your liberals right there. Nor the what?
Nor the curl said to be bountiful.
Nor the curl said to be bountiful. Right? Now look at, it says the curl be bountiful. Right? Being financially grandized in all these others. Look at the word churl according to the Bible. Kalyalaya or Kalia, which is what? Sense of withholding. Niggardly. Nor churl. The liberal nor the niggardly. It says, nor the niggardly said to be bountiful. Okay? So all this ignorant crap that's going on with that woman operating negatively from Texas, this congresswoman acting like a fool, the Most High he's exposing it all, and our people are saying, you know what? No more. No more voting for the niggardly. No more backing the liberal who have destroyed God's people, the vile man. The Bible exposes everything. They tied our people to a bunch of fools. And now that they can't control us, all of these Satanists, these liberals, have become expendable. That's why they're crashing out all over the place. And folks, it's not just Minnesota. That's just the beginning of it. Because that model have been set up everywhere our people are to undermine us. That same system over there.
He's talking about how the political system been using us, the black people of America, which are actually Israelites. Deuteronomy 28 slave ships in America to be sold to men because they sinned, they broke the laws. Hebrews, not Africans, not Hamites. They've been using that democratic system against us and all that stuff. So, we gotta wake up. Healthcare systems, America is just satanic, the Bible tells you. Then again, Revelation 1:14-15, the Bible tells you Christ is dark skin, white with hair. Acts 13, 1-4, disciples, prophets at the church of Antioch, called NIGER. So, you gotta wake up, man. Believe in Christ. Stop voting and shit. Alright? Then earlier, if you missed it, they had this nurse talking about if somebody disagrees with her views or ice or something like that comes in there, she's gonna put something in this needle that would bury this man. A nurse. She made a video on it and everything. So the healthcare system is satanic too. And she was demon possessed out of her freaking mind, obviously. But I'm not gonna go back. So the healthcare system is, you would think you go in the hospital to be saved, your life would be saved. It's the opposite. Trust me. The symbol of the healthcare system is part of the Baphomet statue, so wake up.
And we didn't know what the systems were. Seeing these Muslims come in, these...
Only truth is the Bible. The Bible is truth, not religions, not Christianity, not Catholic, no denomination. They don't teach you the real cross of the Bible. They teach you Babylonian customs. Bible is fine, religions are false. Right?
East Indians come in because we don't conversate with them. We don't do anything with them to know how they're actually leapfrogging us within one generation. But they've been dealing with this con for decades, undermining us while God's people suffer. Huh? A nation divided against itself. Matthew 12, verse 25. Let's go there real quick. Matthew 12, verse 25. Then after this, I have one video to play, and then we're going to open up. We're going to open up for calls for those who would like to call in or come in through Zoom. Right? Let's get the last scripture, Matthew 12, verse 25. That's right. So we're going to sit back, read the Bible, pray to the Almighty, and eat our organic popcorn. And watch Babylon does what it do. According to prophecy, Babylon...
Yep. Babylon the Great. It's falling. Then, organic. Because obviously all the regular foods, GMO'd and pretty much poison, essentially. So you gotta make...
It's falling. Why is it falling? Because you're not going to have God's people.
Oh yeah, people don't know what Babylon is. According to the Bible, modern day it's America. Bible tells you America is the daughter of Babylon, the spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt. And mind you, all three of those places were utterly destroyed by the Most High. So, what do you think is going to happen to America? With the America being all three combined into one. Plus, it's an extension of Rome. And Rome, or the synagogue of Satan, and they literally follow Satan. And Satan controls the whole world. And the Romans are Jewish people. So wake up. Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the word that followed. Jacob, when Christ returns, right? So wake up, bruh. That's the Bible. And their symbol is red in that eagle. And look at the America with the damn eagle and all that crap. Look at the dollar bill with the Egyptian pyramid. Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt, $1 bill. Eagle, that's our fucking, hey, Esau, Edom, Romans. That's their little symbol.
People
In the Bible.
helping you hold it up anymore. It's a thankless job. We get nothing in return. And I'm going to tell you, John the Great is falling. It's falling. That's right.
Matthew 2.
So we're going to sit back, read the Bible, pray to the Almighty, and eat our organic popcorn. And watch Babylon does what it do. According to prophecy, Babylon the Great is falling. It's falling.
America.
Why is it falling? Because you're not going to have God's people helping you hold
Black
it up
people.
anymore.
Which are Israelites, actually,
It's
not
a
Africans.
thankless job. We get nothing in return. And I'm going to tell you how the Most High does this, Elder Lloyd, to show you the hypocrisy. The same people who claim, oh my God, the taxes are going to be overwhelming, we're not going to be able to bear anything, the whole system is going to shut down if there's any reparation for the children of slaves. Only to find out, not too long ago, they've been giving billions to other people right up under our nose, telling us, even while Barack Obama was there, that no one can do anything for the people who built the country. At the same time, trillions going into Israel, a foreign nation. Hundreds of millions went to the Ukraine. And our people were looking at it like, well, okay, I'm sure, that's foreign things that we probably don't understand. But I'm going to tell you what got up under our people's crawl. When they seen how much money was being given away within the borders, within the country, under the black and brown people, and none of our people who built the country received anything. At the same time, they're telling us they don't know where to find money for the people who actually built the country.
It's funny because if you look at like all these throughout the years, they've been giving millions, billions of dollars to other countries like Israel, Palestine, or wherever. Like you have people impoverished in America, but yet you'll give money to other foreign countries. How does that make sense? So people gotta wake up, bro. They don't care about the lowers, they want them that way. They give billions and millions and trillions to all these other countries, but yet we can't get. I mean, obviously we won't get reparations. That's not. They don't care. There's a systematic genocide against God's people. They won't give us that. But I'm just saying. They're essentially doing that for everybody else but us. So, bro, wake up. Bro, wake up.
Who've been taken advantage of by all races of people, including the people they bring over here to look down on us. I think that's when our people started looking at it like, oh, hold up. Okay. They done pegged us into a hole to be what? To be subservient and to be trodden down upon. It's our position to get stepped on by everyone. And our people are saying, listen, no more. Right? What did Christ say? Let's go there real quick, Matthew.
Yes, sir. Matthew 12 and 25.
Let's read it.
And Yeshua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Yeshua knew their thoughts and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. There's no way America can survive.
Yeshua is Christ's real name. That's Hebrew, not Greek like Jesus. And the letter J didn't exist back then, by the way. So they couldn't have been Jesus. That's impossible. Right? So the Bible was translated, right, as Yeshua. He was a Hebrew. So his name was given to him in Hebrew. Right? Yeshua is Christ's real name. Believe it or not, it's facts. That means Savior in English.
With how individuals and races are divided on every level. On every level. You think about it, there's a divide in every area of the people tasked with defending the country. Right? Families can't stay together. Man can't stand woman. Woman can't stand man. Children are out of control. They don't want to listen to the parents. The parents have given up trying to guide the children. The conservatives against the liberals. Now you got these people losing all of their money now that they're getting exposed. All right? They running in front of ICE trucks and all that saying, oh, what's going on? Protest. Waiting for us to come out, and guess what? That's right. The cavalry isn't coming. The cavalry isn't coming. And here's another thing, elders. Behind the mask. Come to find out, here we go. A lot of these ICE agents are foreigners from from African villages, from the Middle East, and all of that. It was exposed in one of the ICE agents. He was great. It sounded like he was from one of those African guerrilla areas in Africa. And he was masked up. So not only do they have this thing happening there with the so-called illegals, no one is talking about the foreign agents behind masks who are from other places, who can be now utilized for other law enforcement missions. Years ago, we were talking about how they was going to bring in foreign troops or whatever when it comes to disarming America. Okay, so that's going on too. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. Is brought to desolation, read.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Well, doesn't that sound like America?
Yep.
So now what we
all programmed, by the way, through the government, through society, it's all a separation, right? Colleges, it's all divide and conquer, the whole thing. Women can take advantage of the government, mess over the man. Then ETC, really, ETC. Sin, right? They promote sin. Politics, religions. I mean, that's all divide and conquer. Like adultery, fornication, I mean, that breaks up families. You know, so wake up, man. Then the ETC too. ETC.
Let's do is come back to the Almighty, circle the wagons, get with those of like mind, and brace ourselves this trouble together. It become what? The cage of every foul and unclean bird. Which means when they brought all these people into America at once to undermine us.
Yep, Bible says that. Habitate America, the habitation of devils. And then we just said every unclean bird and fowl. So it's all America, man. Even the Statue of Liberty, that's that idol that to Semiramis, a demon from Babylon, Statue of Liberty, right? Look up Semiramis from Babylon. Same torch, crown, woman, and all that. That's a demon. Satan's wife and all that. They put up. Bible prophesied that thing coming up too in New York. How that shit's gonna be put down to the ground and all that stuff. You know.
Well, these nations brought forth the demons and spirits that destroyed their communities from where they're from, and the countries where they're from. Well, that's what came over to America with them. And that's
spiritual warfare, social warfare. These immigrants, they come with all these religions, all these demons. That's how you destroy communities. That's how you do it. And everybody's ignorant of this. God's people got for lack of knowledge. Because they're all pagan. People know nothing about that. If these people are following Christ says there's two masters. Most High in Christ in the Bible or Satan. So if these people are not in the Bible, they're following Satan, that means they're sinning, that means they're demon possessed, and they're immigrating over here to us to be right next to us with their idols and demons. Right? Having intercourse exchange demons too. So it's just an infection. That's why in the Old Testament, when you got a demon, you was put to death because that shit's a virus, a cancer. That shit was spread. And now everybody's a bunch of demons, right? So, gotta wake up. That's social warfare, bro. That's warfare. Spiritual warfare.
The price they were willing to pay to keep the child of Judah in particular from ever rising, knowing our task.
Oh yeah, one more thing. The idols they be bringing, these vases, these statues or whatever, they be having jinns or demons in them, bro. That's idols to gods or to fallen angels. People call them gods or aliens, but they're fallen angels. And their sons are Nephilim giants. But yeah, those things is basically just demons. It's vortexes or portals, or you can trap a demon inside like a statue or a rock. So where they have all these Buddha statues, crosses, whatever the fuck they bring, some type of object, there's probably a demon in there. And they're trying to sell you that shit. Now you got a demon up in your house. Better wake up. That's the truth. Better wake up.
Is and was to wake up the 12 tribes everywhere. So the price the Gentiles had to pay was to bring all these people over, knowing that once you bring these people over and divide the family through all these social programs and all that, that eventually they was willing to sacrifice the country to keep Judah from ever rising. See? And now they've opened up the proverbial Pandora's box. There's no reeling this back. There's no reeling this back. What they've allowed to let loose will not stop working until Babylon is no more.
America.
The only refuge is the new Noah's Ark, who is Christ.
Yep.
That's the only refuge. They've done so much destruction to family. They have done so much to divide the man and woman. And all of this, folks, is because they could not stop what the Most High was doing with our people in the awakening. They're throwing everything at us at once, and we're still rising. We're still rising. And guess what, folks? We are not to fear. This is what freedom looks like. If the Most High kept this thing stabilized for long, we would begin to think that what? America was the kingdom that was promised. See? We must seek for something greater than this now. And there's no other place better on earth than America. So once America's done, we have to seek for something greater. And what's greater is only what the Most High promised and what Christ can provide.
Zion.
I thank the Most High that what comes next belongs to God.
Yep, Jacob's world's coming up. Jacob's world, not Esau. Esau about to go down, bruh. The Romans. And
Hold
Satan.
tight. We got one more video to play, and then we open it up for calls. Elder Lloyd, you think you can go another extra 30, 40 minutes with me tonight?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, brother. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in a moment. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures and we go throughout the extra-biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding things hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
I'm washing my hands. Hold on. I'm about to skip it for a moment. Washing my hands. Never mind. They're back. I wake up and read that Bible, bro. Outside religious influence. Christianity has been compromised since 325 AD. Second Constantine, that Roman. He switched everything to Satan's. No Sabbath, Sunday worship, holidays, virgin birth, free grace. He switched all that. None of that was part of the Bible. You know? Caesar Borgia, he put up Caesar Borgia as the false image of Christ and all that stuff. He did all that. Christianity been pagan, and Catholics the same shit. It's all the same. You would think they're all different. They're all the same. All these denominations of Christianity, they all don't follow the Bible in the real Christ. They don't follow the real Christ. So, and Jewish people are Romans from Esau. They're not from Jacob. They're not from the 12 tribes. They're not. When the true people are in the land, there will be no more war. And guess what's happening?
All
There's
right,
a war.
jumping right in, and yes,
So wake up.
Hebrew and Bible Academy, you are invited. We will be taking enrollments in 2 weeks for the new academy. For those who would like to be a part of that, go to historytimes.org, historytimes.org. Let's hear what some of our people are saying concerning why our people are saying persona non grata to these protests. All right, we are not to get into this at all. This is none of our business. Okay, they're distracting people because they're going into the midterms, and they don't want people. Demo nuts don't want people talking about all the money they're funneling through these prophets. It's not just in Minnesota. The protest they're doing is to take the lens off of all of the shenanigans that's not just in Minnesota. This stuff is everywhere. All right? So we have nothing to do with what they're talking about. Now,
Yep, follow Christ.
let's go into this real
Vote
quick.
for
Elder Lord.
Christ.
I don't know what's going on with these septum rings. Lord, have mercy.
Septum.
Have mercy on our soul. They look unsanitary.
Oh yeah.
It,
The Bible says you can't market bodies with no tattoos. The tattoo shows a sign of a demon possession. Then all these piercings and all that, that's all pagan as well. So, it is what it is. It's just the Bible. The Bible tells you not to do it, so I don't know. It's just not supposed to do that. You know?
looks crazy. Okay? But anyway.
Piercings of the body, tattoos, that's all satanic. According to the Bible, so it is what it is.
Let's see what you have to say about, now, I don't understand why they titled this, Elder Lawyer, Immigrants Enraged with Black Americans Are Not Protesting for Them. Immigrants have no problem with our people not protesting. Illegal immigrants have a problem. Okay? I mean, think about this. We travel to how many different countries? Like 3 or 4 separate countries, right, Elder Lawyer?
Done.
Probably more, right? We in France, the Greek islands, Egypt, England,
UK, yeah,
right?
right.
And there's rules in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
While I was
Yep.
in the Greek islands, dealing with, because, I'm a singer by trade. I'm a songwriter by trade. I did jingles and all that. You was there when I was over there.
Right.
And because we have to sustain. We have to use our talents to sustain.
Money. Yep.
So, here it is. They're making all this money on Saturdays off of the entertainment, or whatever the case is, right? And I'm like, well,
Right.
you know what? Packing the place and all this Saturday night. And I said, you know what? I got some money saved. I said, I'll tell you what. Let's invest in a friendly type of entertainment thing. Kids can come over. When people come on holidays, it could be more so friendly entertainment for the family. I'm like, you know what? I saved some money. Let's buy something that we can fund what we would like to do for our people. Right? So I asked the guy, what would it take for us to buy our own business here? Now I'm thinking like in America. If I got the money, it's okay. Right? We're employing their people. Right? It's free enterprise, I thought. And they're looking at me saying, well, unfortunately, listen to this, brothers and sisters. You can't set up a business unless you bring in another citizen who would have 51% of the control over the business who's a citizen. I'm like, okay, all right, let me make this clear.
Do you hear that? We can't go over there and set up businesses, even though we got the licenses and money. But they can come over here to America and just set up their own businesses. They don't need an American. No splitting or nothing. Hey, wake up. I don't know what to tell you. Social warfare, bro. They're bringing their damn guards, too. They're freaking demons, too. All these damn religions. these immigrants and shit. So wake up, bruh.
My hard-earned money that I've worked for, saved, I put the money in and get some Joe Splo from your country to become the controller of the country. And all he's bringing is the fact that he was born here.
Yep. Yep. That's crazy.
Like, well, yeah. I'm like, does that make any sense to you? It's like, of course, it makes sense. It's more you than us. If Americans were to come over here and do what you're doing, we would cease to exist because y'all have the talent, y'all got the money, y'all got all the things, and
Now listen to that. So what are they trying to do to Israelites in America by having all those immigrants come over here and set up businesses? We will cease to exist. I think it was Psalms 83. Then all the nations have crafty counsel against Israel, to have them forget who they are and erase them from existence. All the nations, Edom, Ishmael, the modern names of these places today are not in the Bible. They're all renamed. So this is essentially all the nations on the planet. China, Rome, which is a Jewish people, Iran, and all that stuff. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Better wake up. Social warfare, spiritual warfare.
our
In
people
America.
be barred out of business. So not only would I have to get citizenship, I would have, and in Egypt was the same way. But if you set up a company here, anything you set up, one of our citizens must have 50% or more ownership of that particular business. But they can come here to where our people slave,
Yep.
get a business, and don't.
And by the way, Israelites built America for free and had the blueprints. They'll lie and tell you that we're all like dumb or something. Or whatever, right? So, wake up.
Guess what? They don't have to. There's no requirement for them to have one of us as partnerships with their business. While in the same neighborhood, they prop them people right where we live, knowing the laws back from where they come from would prohibit me, our brothers and sisters here, from doing what they're doing in our neighborhoods. See, and that's why it's important that brothers and sisters travel to understand how wrong they're doing us.
And black people in America are Israelites. They fit all the curse. Deuteronomy 20, the Bible says only Israelites got laws. If you follow the laws, you be above all nations. If you break the laws, which is sinning, you be below all nations. A full nation will be over you. Then you be cast out of your own land into the lands your fathers have never known. Serving gods your fathers have never known, right? And cast out of your lands into ships, into other lands, serving even wood and stone. Islam, Christianity, right? Then there's the curses. Like every time we sin, that's why they normalize sin in society. Free grace in Christianity or whatever. Every time we sin, we're cursed. We're cursed. And all the curses come about us. That's where you got your stereotypes or whatever, right? So, hey, go read the curses on Israelites and tell me that's not black people, supposedly quote unquote black people, right? When they're not black, they're not African, they're Israelites from the Middle East, essentially, right?
Man, that was an eye opener for me. I'm like, so let's make it clear. I gotta go in business with some people strictly because you were born here. And I'm the one making the money for everybody, and now this person gets 50% while my people are suffering. Make that make sense. but they'll come over here. So it ain't about immigrants, folks.
Yep.
Immigrants have no problem because
Exactly.
they went the proper way for citizenship. These nut jobs are trying to overrun and undermine us with a bunch of illegal people, which means criminality and everything will go up in our neighborhoods. And now our children are being assailed upon. Our children are being unalived.
Yep.
See, I'm glad, Elder Lawyer, we was able to travel the world to understand how much these people have taken advantage of us. And then what they'll do. I'm going to tell you what they'll do. In Egypt, too. This is what they do. You set up a business with them. They learn your model. They learn your secret sauce on how to you actually make your business run. And what they'll do is they'll have their cousin set up, or brother or someone in the family set up the same business 2 doors down or a door down, and then sabotage your business, and now they own 100% of it. Because don't forget, they start doing some crazy stuff, and you hear from America, you know what I mean? You're going to step to them. You're going to show forth some level of, you're going to bring it where there's some conflict. You're going to try to steal something from, you're going to raise up and say, you can't steal from me. And then if you say something when they're trying to steal from you, all of a sudden here comes immigration. See? So they'll take your ideas while you're in another country, find out how you're doing it, set up a shop right up the street with the government complicit in this. Sabotage your business, and if you say something, immigration will move you out of the way.
Social warfare. They're destroying us through biological warfare, psychological warfare, social warfare, spiritual warfare. They're destroying our bodies, healthcare system, and our minds, and unaliving us. Spiritual warfare through immigration and religions and holidays. Psychological warfare through really the same shit, but it's just a huge program, bro. Everything is out to destroy us. People don't get this. So, Bible tells you it's Satan's world. Satan deceived the whole world, bro. Christ fasted for 40 days, 40 nights. Satan came up to him. If Satan showed Christ all the nations on the world, if you would bow to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to tell you, bro. Bible also tells you when Christ returned, the armies of the whole world will be there to apprehend him. Try to, at least. Then all kinds of stuff, like 90% will fall, 10% will be remnant. Then broad is the way to destruction. You're stripped out of the way to the kingdom. If people from there, broad means majority. It means if the whole world does something, knows something, thinks something, gotta go the opposite way. You gotta be that 10% remnant. So that 9% are falling down with Satan. So, gotta wake up, man. Then you got what? Chemtrails, the GMO foods, fast food, where they put human. Fast food is totally messed up. Jeffrey Dahmer, you can go look all that up. Hey, they're selling us all kinds of unclean food, like shellfish and pork, and fishes with no scales. All that shit gives you diseases that kills your ass. You're giving us drugs through the health care. The word witchcraft in the New Testament means pharmaceuticals, poison, sorcery. That's why when you take all that stuff, you get like thoughts of suicide and all. That's demons, and they're trying to unalive your ass. That's all that is. That's witchcraft. Right? These people used to be called witch doctors and shit. Warlocks, witches. The Bible tells you herbs cures all things. Then if you're sick, you gotta have a demon cast out of you. Not drugs, right? And a lot of these supposed illnesses or diseases or HIV, I don't know, whatever the fuck they call it. Most of that stuff is man-made. C-word, man-made. It's all man-made, right? So you gotta wake up. I don't know what to tell you. The Bible tells you America, the whole world is under Satan. It's all satanic, bro. Wake up.
Now they've stolen the whole idea. And folks, it's not like that just in Egypt. Even in the parts of Africa where our people are, Ivory Coast or whatever, it's the same deal. So that's why I'm not dealing with that crap. Right of return, that's a grift. That's a scam. Oh, why don't you come over here? You got land. No, they give you a 99-year lease. And it won't take them 99 years to get that property from up under you once you put your money out there. All right? Fair use.
Y'all are focusing on why don't black people care what Trump is doing. We do. But we're focusing on us and ourselves to survive through this.
You heard what you said, Elder?
Yes, sir.
Y'all wonder. Now, you would have thought that we all had a powwow, that there was a meeting where all of Judah and America came together. No, it's the Holy Spirit, folks.
Yep.
It's the Holy Spirit. All of a sudden, from different walks of life, from different belief systems, we're all coming to the same conclusion at almost the same exact time. Tell me that's not the Almighty. Listen to this.
I made a video earlier, I took it down. But y'all are focusing on the wrong people. Y'all are focusing on why don't black people care what Trump is doing. We do. But we're focusing on us and ourselves to survive through this. Don't y'all need to be?
Thank you. No, it ain't our position to stop Trump from doing what he's doing. Even the Most High says that you can't not resist the power.
Yep. These Satanists, they're going to do what they do, bro. We just have to keep the laws and commandments, follow the real Christ, Yeshua in the Bible, and the Most High. Pray. Follow the laws and commandments. Get baptized, get the Holy Spirit. Don't sin. We're just breaking the laws, and we're protected. We're protected by angels. See, when you start sinning, that's when all these snares, you'll be entrapped in snares, possessed by something, and that's how you get destroyed. Yo, listen to the lies on the news, because it's all lies. Plandemic in 2020. Come get this. Snares to get you in the dirt. ETC, right? So, as long as you're in that Bible, following the laws and commandments, and not religions or holidays, you good, bro. You know, we don't need to. You good.
The authority that's set up. You think listen, every empire that was set up, our God allowed.
Yep.
Okay? That's the realization of it. Well, I'm gonna go get knocked over my head.
Just like Egypt with Pharaoh, right? He built Pharaoh up just so he can knock him down. All these empires, most of as well. So yeah.
And get dragged over a bunch of liberal nut jobs. And these are the same people who also marched to unalive our children with the abortion and all these others. These are the same people that's telling us that our sons should put on dresses.
Yep. That's satanic and it's murder too. When yeah, because fallen angels taught that abortion, it's sin. Then it's murder too, and it's a form of molar sacrifice, which is child sacrifice. And that's what these governments, popes, and all them motherfuckers, Catholics be doing on these holidays and shit. So they actually be sacrificing children, bro. Wake up for power, knowledge, technology. That's what they do. Christ was our sacrifice, but Satan need his sacrifices too. Yeah, it requires blood, people. So, wake up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bohemian Grove and all that crap.
Why aren't black people
Protesting is so ridiculous. That shit is ridiculous, bro. They want you out there so you can get destroyed and shit. Just stay at home, bro. No protesting.
Okay, I told you. Y'all didn't listen. 2, because we can't help you as much as the people you need to help you.
Protesting? I just thought about protesting. Look at. Go watch The Boys. Or no, it was I think it was Gen V season 2. Look at what protesting does. You have both sides. They're protesting. Some people walk up that disagree with their political views. They'll just start beating their ass or kill them or something just because they're Republican or whatever, and you're a Democrat. Like, they just want you out there to get destroyed, really. Just stay at home, man. And vote for Christ, not for freaking... Politics is two sides to the same coin. It's divide and conquer. It's all pre-planned, too. The voting doesn't do shit. They're going to put in whoever... It's all pre-planned. Right? And all those people, like the president and all that, they're all figureheads reading scripts and shit, bro. They don't control shit. It's the Jewish people, it's the Romans. Like I said, they control it all. Media, Hollywood, all that shit. Healthcare, schools, education system, all that. They control all that shit. All these people that we see on TV, they're all figureheads reading scripts, right? They compromise to Satan. And they're just deceiving everybody, lying and all this, you know. So, we gotta wake up, bro. You can't believe in a satanic system prophesied to be destroyed. America will be destroyed, man. It will be. That's according to the Bible, bro. Not according to me.
You need white people. You're focusing on black people, you need to focus on white people. You need to get their attention, their compassion, their empathy.
And that's a great point, because they told us in America, you know, the Lord, that white people were the majority. Because what allowing illegals to do what they're doing and undermining us, which will drive down wages when there's no jobs already. How is protesting against that benefiting us? When you know the corporations brought up a lot of the companies here to send workers from their country to work here for lower wages. So, folks, these people didn't just walk over without a plan. They had maps, they had everything, and they had people to meet if they could make it over the border, which was attached to corporations who own companies here in America. They would rather pay slave labor than the people who work here to make profit. So that would be... our people would be starch idiots to go out there and get in front of something that was put in place politically to undermine our people financially. Haven't we suffered long enough? You got to be out of your mind. Oh yeah, you're going to get in front of a foreign ICE agent who's probably have killed people where he's from. Okay, I'm going to protect the guy, the illegals who's here to steal all of our jobs.
Their social and political power. You're focused on the wrong people. You're focused on the wrong demographic. Black people don't make up the vast majority of this country. We don't make up the vast majority of politicians. We are not in the White House. I'm telling you, you need to focus on white people and getting them to actively care and campaign and protest in your name, in your favor, and leave black people alone.
Oh, no, brother. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Noble, you got 12 subscribers. I'm down with you. But let's go to the next thing over here. All right? I appreciate you, my brother. All right, let's go slide right here. No, not him. Not him. Right now, that guy's in a doghouse. All right? Get you right, Bob. Right? No, not you, brother. All right? Corey Holcomb did some straightening there. Now, understand what we got going on here, Elder. You got young women waking up and saying, this is not our fault. Now, I'm going to ask you, Elder Lawyer, why would this be, according to your view on this, why do you think this would be a white person's fight?
First and foremost,
They're just saying that for the audience, for edification, because obviously if they say Edomite or Roman or Israelite, you don't know what the hell they're talking about. White people are Romans from Esau. That's just what they are. Edomites, Idumeans, whatever. Romans, whatever. Same thing. White people in America are Israelites from the Middle East. But we ran after 70 AD from Roman persecution. Then we sinned. That means we want slave ships and Jamaica be selling the men. Deuteronomy 20:68. So we sinned, right? Then yeah, that's the truth. So I'm gonna just keep it there. Well, there's 12 tribes of Israel. Like Mexicans are one tribe, Hawaiians, Native Americans, Hispanics, nations, Haitians, Dominicans, Jamaicans, the Filipinos. Those are all Israelites as well, and there's more. But I'm just saying.
they have the most to gain.
Like what?
Well, if they're benefiting from certain programs that usually come to immigrants, they're getting kickbacks from certain programs, financial programs that are set out for, really not even set out for immigrants. It's monies that's set out for certain things for our communities, but immigrants pretty much get they get the dibs on some of these finances. And then you have, as we mentioned earlier, the white liberals who somehow, some way find a way to get kickbacks out of this. Then obviously it's in their interest to go out there and protect their bag.
So it's in their interest because without victims, it dries up. Their gravy train is dried up.
Right, exactly.
Interesting. Let's see what else they talking about this all over the place. Right? What do you think about these Black Lives Matters? Let me see.
Black Lives
And another
Matter.
thing. Black Lives Matter is not a black organization.
Yep, it's not.
Right?
Black Lives Matter was such a farce and a scheme founded by like 3 witches, lesbian witches, and all that crap. So, gotta be careful with those type of things because it's just you just gotta do your research. Really, look at who founded it, and you'll be surprised. 3 lesbian witches. They were even doing rituals and shit. They have black wings and all that. Black Lives Matter founders and stuff. So people just gotta do their research. Do their research, you know. And a lot of these things, like these tragedies, I don't know, George Floyd and all that. That's all government. That's all the government. It's not real, essentially. Like, it's not. None of that shit's real. It really isn't.
It's a white liberal nut job organization. Okay? If Black Lives Matter in America, then they would have all came together and gave reparations to the children of slaves. All right? That's the only time Black Lives is going to matter. All right? Find out what you gave to Holocaust survivors, Israel, Ukraine, illegals, and guess what? Stop all of that and give it to the people who built the country, and then we'll realize that Black Lives matter. Okay? Get out of our schools, get your health, death care, mental health garbage out of our community. Leave us alone and allow us to find our own way
Exactly.
with our families. We do not need your help for anything outside of getting out of our way, staying out of our way. How about that?
Exactly.
Black folks not marching.
Stuff like this is the reason why my people ain't marching with y'all. Listen closely.
Over equality.
When you're church and los young Raza or Raza want to believe that, you better turn your TV, brother. You better turn your radio back.
Black Lives Matter because they want paid for being one of the slaves of
Reparation.
You talking about, well, I heard they passed in North Carolina.
What?
do something out here in California. I think they already actually got a little board going that they're going to start looking into it.
That's what we, the Rafa, need to step up, protest, and I'm talking major, and turn around and tell them, no, nobody get reparations until the Native Americans, and the next thing get ours first. We've been going to the...
Yep, Native Americans got genocided. Like, how many dead? Like 20 million, 10 million dead? If you look at the Holocaust, that's only 6 million. Native Americans, black people, it's in the 20 millions. Literally. So people don't know this. And they keep... we gotta forget about slavery and our deaths, but we can't forget about the Holocaust, huh? Isn't that something? Isn't that interesting?
Now, see that? You got people who came over, Democrat shills that put in place to undermine us, who wouldn't have had an opportunity unless our people bled, our blood soaked the ground of this country, who's sitting there on a podcast saying, well, blacks shouldn't get anything unless the Mexicans and North American Indians get theirs first. See that? So this is what? These are Israelites who have taken on Edomite talking points, not realizing they wouldn't be here at all if it wasn't for the struggle that came through civil rights. Right? So this is why the Bible says that the Most High says that he must what? Magnify Judah first, so that the tribes, that the others will not magnify themselves. That he must raise Judah first, so that the tribes of Israel doesn't what? Magnify themselves against us. They'll come over here and take sides with the people who oppressed us and did all types of diplomatic destructions on their particular country, which led to them having to come here in the first place. The same people who destroyed their country are the people who've enslaved us. And they'll come over here to the Americas and side with the people who have always destroyed Judah. And this is why we're sitting back looking like, this is interesting. Here it is. Elder Lawyer, when I got the knowledge of the truth, yourself and others, the first thing we're thinking of is, well, no, it ain't just about Judah. Like Christ says, it's time to gather the 12 tribes together under one king who is Christ. And love each other equally, knowing that we all have our separate curses and oppression under the same people. And these people will get a microphone in front of them. I'm going to show you the disrespect.
Yeah, bro. Hey, that's what happens when you're pagans, right? Pagans are people who don't follow the Most High in Christ. They're outside the Bible, worshiping, unbeknownst to themselves, they're worshiping fallen angels and demons, right? They think they're following God in these religions, but they're not. Who don't believe in Christ or follow the Bible or whatever, right? This is what happens, right? It is what it is. People start talking, they're ignorant, they don't know what they're talking about. If you want real truth, real knowledge, the Bible says the knowledge of this world is foolishness with the Most High, right? Because it's Satan's world, and he's the father of lies, and the first oracles of the Most High is to be relearned, right? It says something in another verse like, you are to be a teacher, but it's I forgot the words, like, it behoove you or sought to you that you'll be the one being taught again or whatever, right? Something like that, I forgot. Because a lot of these people want to sit there and talk on their podcasts, and they're talking about a bunch of garbage. They really are. Straight trash. So, gotta be in that Bible. Bible's the only truth.
We've always fought for everyone.
Not religions, not Christianity, not Catholic, the Bible itself. King James Version.
And they'll come to where we are and say, well, no, y'all don't deserve anything. And I'm looking at this. And you wonder why Judah right now is saying, you know what? We're good. Sell out. Now, of course, this is not the norm. This is not the representation of the 10 tribes that we come accustomed to knowing and loving. And the people amongst our church, they're nothing like these people. Because guess what? We have some of these, a lot of these, amongst Judah. Right? But I just want to point to this and say, you know what? It's deep. The disrespect lies deep with people who come over here without knowing the history of how they garnered the opportunity to be here. And what we had to suffer for all of the tribes. And it's a shame because, I mean, I don't think these brothers here would like to put their face, based on what's about to happen, I don't think they want their face out there with these particular type of sentiments. Because Esau and the powers that be, like Nick Fuentes and others, isn't going to give them a pass because they betrayed us. They're not going to get a pass. Right? Listen to this guy, Elder Lloyd. I think this is a brother, I think he's from Issachar. How are you going to give money to a specific group? This is the United States. Holocaust survivors, anyone?
Right.
Ukraine? Anyone? So he has a problem with it actually going to the people that deserve it.
Yeah, Bible tells you it's always our people, bro. It be your own people against you. Like, what's going on? Shit crazy. Shit crazy, bro.
How can money go to a specific group? This is the United States. There's money that's earmarked for food, for other groups all the time. Right? All the time. What boat did this guy come in on? Money that's specifically for Jews, we can't get access to. Money that's specifically for gays, those who identify as LGBTQ. Okay, unless you identify with that, none of us cannot get access to that. So what are you talking about specific? There's money for specific groups. What the Hades is this guy talking about?
The reason why you're not seeing so many black people at these protests is because that's what Donald Trump wants. Okay? Donald Trump wants us to be the front runners.
What is he talking about?
And things of that nature. And the fact that you guys have not acknowledged that, you're looking behind for black people and you've never sat down and said, well, why aren't black people jumping to the front of the line during these protests?
Elder Lawyer, that's a great point. Because if we were to come out there in numbers, don't you think they would
That's definitely not what Trump wants, but you know. We're not supposed to be protesting or nothing.
stop bagging illegals and solely focus on stomping us into the concrete? I need you to think about this. Imagine if they did what they've just done to a white lesbian woman. And don't forget, there's only a few protected groups in the United States. And LGBTQ so happens to be one of those. One of the two protected groups.
Yep, Satanists, demon possessed
If they're
Satanists.
willing to do this, if what
They
they're
are.
saying happened, like it happened,
According to the
to
Bible.
a white lesbian woman, what do you think they'll do if one of us show up out there?
Yeah, it ain't gonna look good, I tell you that. Ain't gonna
Are
look
you
good,
crazy?
I made a video after Kamala Harris lost.
Kamala
that
Harris.
black people are tired. We are.
Kamala Harris is the East Indian Babylonian, by the way. She's worshiping literal demons. And they showed that shit, by the way, on the news for some reason. I don't know why they showed it, but skin blue with 4 arms and all that. That Hindu fallen angel demon she be following, you know.
We're exhausted. And so we decided to take a different approach. We decided to not be the front line. We decided to be the ones at home. We decided to be the voices, things of that nature. Organize also amongst ourselves and get ourselves together, because clearly people did not vote with us. Now you're seeing the effects of that. The reason why you're able to notice things within the Trump administration is because they can't center black people as the problem. That's what it is. They can't centralize black people as the issue. And they've been trying. They've been trying every which way.
They've been trying to demonize us. They've been trying. Very, very, very hard to demonize Israelites. So-called black Africans. But they're really Israelites.
Out there to protest, and we have not budged. Of course, we're against these illegal deportations.
Oh no, speak for yourself. Okay? Speak for yourself. We believe in people following the law. Alright? Let's make it clear. God gave us the law. Borders are in place for a reason.
Yep.
Alright, so speak for yourself.
Because you can't have no, it's like in Israel, right? Well, back in the day. Like, the Bible used to talk about strangers, right? Thy strangers had to follow what we were following. Thy stranger couldn't just come into Israel with the real Israelites, not the Romans, the white Romans over there now, and just bring their religion with them. That's why there's borders for protection, because obviously they're trying to war against us, right? But it's also so they won't just bring their gods with them, bro. They were trying to do that during King James' rule, and we were burning witches on the stake because they kept trying to infiltrate using the white women with their witchcraft. That's where that comes from. Dark Ages was ran by black people, bro. King James, 3 thrones in England, made English language and all that stuff. 9 kids and a wife. That's what they try to do. They'll come with their religion, their gods, their demons, and that's how you topple communities and shit, right?
When saying we're against these illegal deportations, okay? If our people, if this brother right here was a
illegal deportation, some of these illegals are like literally murdering people. So some girl on Tinder, woman with immigrant, she dead and gone, bruh, dead and gone. Lied to her dad. Oh, I'm going to get some gas. Nope, she was going to sin, fornicate with some immigrant, and she got unalived. So don't lie, don't sin. It's not hard. Lie to not supposed to be lying. Not supposed to be sinning.
or Middle Eastern country and try to get the money that belongs to other people and try to take the jobs of those citizens, they will have this guy on the first thing smoking. Okay? And if you overstay after 3 months and are founded, they will throw you in jail in these other countries. Now, I don't know about jail don't forget, jail in America,
Let me go back. I didn't hear it.
okay? If our people, if this brother right here was to go into Egypt or a Middle Eastern country and try to get the money that belongs to other people and try to take the jobs of those citizens, they will have
That's what they're doing to us in America, by the way.
this guy on the
And we allow it, but we can't do that over there, or we'd be destroyed, bro.
first thing smoking.
Social warfare,
Okay?
spiritual warfare, bro.
And if you overstay
On
after
Israelites in
3
America.
months and are founded, they will throw you in jail in these other countries. Now, I don't know about jail don't forget, jail in America, let me tell you, that's a camp compared to being in jail in these third world countries. I traveled over in the Middle East. You overstay and they throw you in one of these places, folks. Guess what, folks?
You're cooked. GG's.
You got a dirt floor
GG's.
with critters running around. On top of that, you won't eat unless a family member come with food.
Right.
You like, yo, where my 3 squares in a cot at? And then you got some crazed Arab with 2 teeth missing and different spots that you don't understand how that went down, checking out what size shoe you wear. Because he up in there with no shoes, with all types of dark cheese between his toes. See?
Right.
That's a whole different vibration.
Yeah, that's
compared
crazy.
to them
I
being
ain't gonna lie.
jailed here before deportation.
Yeah, it's bad in America, too, because it's psychological warfare, spread of homosexuality, divide and conquer. You already know how the American prisons be doing it. They want them divided. They be killing each other, drugs, and raping each other and all that. That's pretty bad. And that's nothing compared to foreign. So you can only imagine what these other... it's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right? Where they're being held to some degree, I'm going to tell you, it's like a 5-star hotel compared to where some of these people come from. So, no, brother. No. All right? Let's get this straight. Of course we are against these illegal deportations. The illegal part is people coming over the border knowing the risks. That's the illegal part. So that's why people have to travel. You have to broaden your minds and understand what's going on here doesn't make any sense. They came over knowing the risk. If I'm caught, there's a chance I will be deported. Nowhere in the world can our people travel like this and undermine another country and take finances off of the food of the citizens' table and not expect deportation. Are you kidding me? You got some guys
wake up.
that you're Fresh Jordan, and you thinking, like, at least I'm gonna get 3 meals in a shot. And they looking at you speaking in a language that no one understands. And you start figuring out, hey man, no one's coming. Don't forget, I done got some phone calls where I had to send money. I'm talking about people who I didn't even say go anywhere. Okay? I get a phone call like, yo, she said, yeah, this guy, he's up in a situation. I'm in another country. I'm like, who? What? I'm making a call. some guy moseyed their way from UK and got jammed up, and now they got their shoes stolen in a dirt jail with no food being fed to them.
Yo, that is
And I'm
so
like,
crazy.
who's this person? They're like,
That's crazy.
I'm like, I'll tell you what. Don't worry about it. Give me the family members or whatever the case is. I'll send money, bail that person out, and have them go home. Okay.
Hey, generous, righteous, bro.
And I'm just listening to this stuff, and I just don't want people to, I don't even know these people, but I'm like, you know what? Listen, here's a plane ticket. Get him out of there. You know what I mean? Of course he's gonna be walking out there without those Jordans, but I'll tell you what, you're not in Kansas anymore. All right? So, hey, what the hell is going on here? So all of that, we are against these illegal deportations. We are indifferent. I believe if somebody came in with the risk to get away with it, hey, eventually, enjoy the dream. But understand the risk that comes with coming to a country undocumented.
Once he told y'all this is going to happen, a black woman, the president, told you that this is going to happen. And a lot of you guys said,
oh, no, brother. This is a spiritually driven show. All right? Come on with the potty mouth, young man.
Kamala Harris was a damn demon, all right? And Obama. Honestly, they're all the same, really. It's just easier for, to point out somebody like Kamala or Obama because they get all this trans and gay stuff. It's all satanic. But they're all the same. They're all under the same umbrella, the same satanic Freemasonry or whatever. And their symbol, by the way, take two crosses, put them together. On the top, flip it, Freemasonry symbol. And that symbol, with the G in the middle and all that stuff, that means God equals Lucifer. So their God to them is Satan. So people gotta wake up. And Freemasons, they control the world. George Washington and all that, all these presidents, they're all Freemasons. Then, if somebody didn't comply, like JFK, murdered. Who wanted to be righteous, murdered. Wanted to tell some truth, murdered. It's like, what did they say about JFK? Like, the conspiracies, like, oh, he wanted to... Because the government did all this stuff. All these tragedies, government. It's always the government. They try to blame somebody else, like Arabs. They didn't do shit. All pre-planned, but, I forgot what they said. The conspiracies or whatever, like aliens or something. Conspiracy isn't no aliens. Fallen angels are aliens. There is no aliens, really. They're just fallen angels. And their sons, Nephilim, are giants or whatever. He was probably about to come out with, how the government is working with demons and fallen angels. That's really why they killed him. They don't care about no aliens. They want you to believe in aliens and shit. Because that goes into Big Bang and evolution and all that. All the lies they threw out there. So people gotta wake up, man. UFOs in the Bible, bro. That's angel technology, bro. That has nothing to do with no damn... There is no aliens. That's the complete lie. Right? That word alien goes into, fallen angels or demons, too. I forgot exactly what word it was, but yeah.
Sit this one out. I maintained that, but I didn't say why. A lot of people are being petty when they say that, but I'm not. I really mean that. Not because their fight isn't our fight. No. Because ultimately, constitutional rights are being infringed upon. And Hispanic people make up 20% of the country. They are the most populous minority group. Again, not being paid towards them in what I said. We've already had this fight. Because black people, remember, the United States as we know it was not always united. We had Union states and Confederate states. So people who were escaping slavery, as we all know, could be captured and killed, lynched, whatever, or sent back to their plantation right up underneath their masters. as per the Fugitive Slave Act of 1793 and 1850, which eventually was repealed in 1864.
Mind you, they'll have you try to forget slavery. Forget the past, forget that, but we can't forget the Holocaust. We can't forget 9/11 or none of that stuff. Right? And then if you forget the past, which they only want you to forget slavery, really. And also, that goes into Deuteronomy 20:68. Israelites who own slaves in America to be sold to men, because they sinned, they broke the laws. They don't really want you to forget history, just the slavery. Just slave ships, really. to be honest with you. So, Holocaust, which means birth sacrifice, by the way. Moloch sacrifice. 6 million dead, while Native Americans, like, 10 million dead. Slave ships, Israelites, 10 million dead. I mean, what's the bigger genocide, bro? Tragedy. Gotta wake up, bro.
Fugitive Slave Act is the outline of the ICE, as an organization. It's literally the outline. Black people, we've done this already. Our time with that then came and went. That's already part of our story and our history. Hispanic people have an opportunity.
All these people he talking about, they're all Israelites.
Okay, I gotta correct this too.
Right.
And I gotta correct this because when his history is correct, but we had no other place to go. Okay.
And neither did we come here willingly.
Yeah, we did not come here.
Yeah, we came here. We was human trafficked. Talking about some human trafficking. Bro, we was human trafficked. 10, 20 million Israelites come over here, bro. Then they talk about drugs. Drugs this, drug that. What's the biggest drug administration and dealers? It's the pharmaceuticals and doctors and shit. The government working with cartel and all that. Went to Afghanistan for the poppy trees, poppy plants, whatever the hell, to make cocaine that they get high on to get possessed by demons for knowledge and power. Look at Albert Einstein and the psychologist people and all that. They take drugs, shrooms, whatever, cocaine. They get possessed, or demons give them knowledge and power. That's how they do it, bro. Right? Or they sacrifice kids to get the same result. Nikola Tesla conjuring demons up. Look up Nikola Tesla. He had all these satanic pentagrams over his house, conjuring up demons, trying to learn knowledge and power. That's how he get all of his knowledge from. Look at damn Steve Jobs. He went to India, up in a damn mountain in a cave, and all of a sudden he knows how to make the iPhone from a demon. I'm telling you, technology. There's nothing new under the sun. The Bible tells you. All this technology, it ain't nothing compared to back in the day. Like NASA and CERN, that's a small version of the Tower of Babylon, where it's first cities, first MK Ultra, first damn religions. That's where all these religion holidays come from, really. But those are only smaller versions of that tower. Then that's why they're always trying to dig up shit. History Channel trying to dig up all this satanic shit that the Most High buried on purpose. Right? After the flood, Most High buried all this stuff. And they're trying to dig it back up because they're Satanists. Alright? They're digging up old idols, satanic. You already know. They put that shit in movies. Like how they dig up all these old ass and it's all cursed and man, we've seen it in the movies already. It's not some. I don't know what they try to say. They're trying to dig up the past. It's more than digging up the past. They know what they're doing. That's all Satanism is trying to dig up. The things that the Most High destroyed, right?
Somebody get Deuteronomy 28 and 68 again. The belly of ships. We didn't volunteer for this.
Yep, Israelites on ships.
We didn't sneak over the border. And
because they broke the laws and commandments, which is sin. And only Israelites got the laws and commandments, no other nation. So that's only on Israelites. And that's obviously not on white people. So those Romans over there, those Jewish people are Romans. The true people on the land, there'd be no more war. And obviously there's still war. So they're not the people. They don't follow the Bible anyway. Everything they do is not in the Bible. Alright? So people gotta wake up, man. Black people in America are real Israelites, man. Only one tribe, but, White people, America, Haitians, Dominicans, Cubans, Venezuelans, Mexicans, Hawaiians, Hispanics, Native Americans, those are all Israelites. And that's only like, what, 6 tribes? That's not all the tribes.
Then start shucking corn and picking cotton.
Right.
Right?
Yep, we were forced.
Matter of fact, let me run over the border and join a plantation. So we got to get that straightened out
it was the Most High that did it,
people
really.
have revisionist history.
Well, all the nations, but
we had no other place to go.
Yep.
When we were running away from the South, we were still within the borders of the United States of America. So this comparing that and all of that, no. These people don't, it's no separating from their family. If you didn't follow the law, you have a place where your family was before you broke the law. The family can still go back to where it came from. I mean, what is the discussion here? Y'all don't think this madness people are trying to, with this word salad. No. These people have family where they come back with where they're from. You had these East Indians who were crying because they invested, and they was a rich family in India because they invested all this money to have their son sneak into the United States so he can set up a business and get some of that money grip that would go back to his family, pay them back, and now eventually have them come over and get access to all the black and brown, loans and subsidies and set-asides that's for us. And they're crying because their son got caught.
Yep. Because these people, they're dark-skinned, but they're not Israelites, right? They're Hamites. There's a difference. We're both black, but we're not from the same. Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? Ham, he got Africa. Shem got the Middle East. Japheth got Asia or Europe. It tells you in the Bible, Ham was the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. So, Negroes were Shem. Shem, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob's 12 sons equals the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Hamites, they're pagans. They worship demons and devils and shit. Well, really, all nations do that, except Israelites, right? At least the ones that know the truth is. Even Christians, really, because, again, in Catholic Christianity, they don't teach you the Bible there, man. It's all Babylonian. If you read the Bible, study the Bible, King James Version, 80 books, you will realize you're not following Christ or the Bible, right? If you actually read the book instead of listening to your compromised pastor, you know.
And they had enough money to sell part of their acres and all that to get him smuggled here. Okay? So, no. I don't understand what these people are trying to compare what we went through in slavery to what's going on right now. That's outright offensive. Even mention or even compare it. When someone has a country to go back to. So, nah, brother. You failed the test on this. Alright? But it's an opinion, a perspective. Right?
I've seen a lot of people stand up and speak out about when they do it and telling people to keep the job, right? That's what they tell black people when they had altercations over it. White liberals don't have.
No, brother. And I'm glad we have the other side of this to understand some of these perspectives that's out there, Elder Roy. You don't drive up against law enforcement, okay, to interrupt their duty in rounding up criminals. So don't compare that to an innocent guy who's driving a car and having a problem with police.
Exactly.
Right? like I gave the example a few weeks ago, if Roy had gotten in his car and followed ICE, he can, everywhere ICE was going, doing their job, he can expect everything that's coming to him.
Yep.
Exactly.
So here, and it's deep. That's how strong we are as a people, folks. There's no movement or no strength in a movement unless they can compare what they're dealing with what we've gone through.
Exactly.
No, get your own narrative. Get your own political stance without trying to shoehorn us into it. It's not going to work. And really, at the end of the day, brothers and sisters should say, listen, leave us alone until you give us what those Somalis received, what the Ukrainians received, what the Holocaust survivors received. Break off our people and talk to us after the money is in the account already. Okay? And then we'll think about listening to some. We're still not going out there.
Yup. A bunch of foreign countries they're giving money to, but yet we're impoverished in America. And we built the country for free and had the blueprints. Yeah, we're still at the bottom in problems, which is on purpose. But yet they're giving millions and billions out to a bunch of random countries that isn't America. You know, like, we got to deal with America first, you would think. Then everybody else, but you know.
But then we'll begin to, at least that will open up, you know, a conversation. That'll open up an ear to hear what you have to say. Okay? That sounds like a plan.
Privilege. And so I've been keep telling all these black liberals who want to interject themselves into, like, I'm going to talk about another video, how Black Lives Matter is at the Renee Good protest. Like, why is that a black issue? Now, I'm not saying black people shouldn't care, that this death should not be.
Oh, no. We don't care at all. Let's make it clear. Okay? We don't care. Get out of the way and let these people whatever. Whatever they're doing, do their job. If someone isn't illegal, if someone is following the law, they have nothing to worry about. We don't care.
For the whole country, even though she was not a victim, but it's a sad situation that our country's at this place. But this is not black people's fight. Illegal immigration hurts black people more than it hurts white people, more than it hurts anybody else.
Say that again, because it drives down the wages in a job market that's already dried up. You get Uber Eats, you get Amazon, you get these people coming and dropping things off. And like, well, hold up, man. I'm looking at your navigating thing, and it's not even English on your knapsack, on your navigation. Okay? It's like our people are suffering enough, and we should be able to benefit first for anything when it comes to being able to survive in the country where our forefathers were sold to. We should be able to benefit first in front of everybody. That's just how it is any other place in the world.
Just like, and we see that for.
Let me say this as well.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot. Yes, sir. Let me say this as well, and this goes back to your question you asked earlier. Why should white people?
Wait a moment. Right.
Be concerned with defending and going out protesting and trying to protect illegals. When it comes to business, when you're talking about jobs and losing jobs, black people getting the short end of the stick when it comes to losing jobs to illegal immigrants. When you look at the businesses that are hiring the immigrants, not only are liberals benefiting from this, but also conservatives. If you're a business owner, regardless of where you stand politically, if you own a business and you're hiring illegals, then you're benefiting from this. So it's in your interest, again, to go out there and protect, to protest, and do what you need to do to ensure that the immigrants can do what they do, because you are benefiting as a business owner, a white business owner, from the work and the labor, the cheap labor of these immigrants.
Yeah. And that's another reason why these demo nuts are out there protesting. Because there's a lot of weird things going on too that no one is talking about. 4 months ago, it was on the news that missing children were recovered in Trump's unprecedented crime crackdown. How many of these children...
Molar sacrifice. That's what it is. Sacrifices to Satan. That's what those Satanists be doing. Government start 1%. Popes and all that. That's why God told us in the Bible not to do that. Because that's what all the things you see in the Bible, all the laws and commandments, don't do this, don't do that. That's what all the nations were doing. That's why the Most High told us, don't do this. Because that's what all the other nations are doing to themselves. Homosexuality, trans, sacrificing their children, stealing, killing, lying. So, even Trump said like 300,000 missing children and shit. They being more like sacrifice. They ain't get lost in no woods, no damn cryptids got them or nothing. They get more like sacrifice. The Bible tells you Satan came down to earth and the third of heaven. Mount Hermon fallen angels came down too. Satan and fallen angels are on the planet. They require blood sacrifice. So
being trafficked through a lot of these...
Mostly during these damn holidays too, because it's to Satan. Around October and November, December, all kinds of Amber Alerts going off. Missing child, missing child, missing child. Right after all these holidays go away, nothing. No missing. It's not coincidence. Wake up.
Systems here ran by liberals.
Oh yeah, they be drinking blood and all that too, by the way. Those Satanists.
Right? And if you're going to tell me that it's okay to go into the neighborhoods where I grew up at, North Philadelphia, and teach gender bending when it comes to children, how am I to think
that's a whole nother satanic thing. Teaching children sin and all that stuff. Christ said, you start teaching children sin and all that, it'd be better that you weren't even born, that there was like a anchor tied around your neck and you was thrown into the sea or some shit like that. So there's a crazy judgment for that shit, because, Satan's Baphomet statue, got 2 children there and all that. They go after the children, bro. They program the children. That's how you get to the next generation. So that's why sin, that's why society promotes sin, normalizes sin, and paganism. Religions, holidays, all satanic paganism from Babylon. Has nothing to do with God or the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Or the Most High, Ahia in Christ Yeshua in the Bible, because some Freemasonry, God equals Lucifer. Some people's gods are Satan, so yeah.
This is not happening with illegals who don't have the same rights, illegal children who don't have the same protections as American citizens. If you can teach this in the United States, offering gender transition for citizens, I need y'all to think about this, folks.
You know what's crazy about those gender things? That's from Nephilim or fallen angels. Because fallen angels could shapeshift. Then their kids, the giants, when they sin, right? Genesis 6:4. They were both genders. they had one eyes like Cyclops. They had these giant long skulls and all that stuff. They were like abominations and monsters because celestial and terrestrial flesh shouldn't mix. They create abominations. So that's where you got your hermaphrodites and trans. Then the Baphomet statue of Satan. Then people be saying all this shit. The goat. They're talking about Satan when they say that. Unbeknownst to themselves, by the way. But yeah, Satan's Baphomet statue. That's both genders and stuff. It has the healthcare system on it. The Pope be having that little snake, you know. People better wake up. The torch, the horn god, the go and all this. People better wake up, man. I don't know what to tell you.
What chance does an undocumented child has under their authority? So they stomping for a lot of things. And don't think sexual access isn't one of those.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. CPS and all that. Freaking foster homes. Trans gay people when they adopt kids. They be raping them, bro. When you do that, you put demons in the kid, and that kid grows up to be a, demon-possessed pagan, man. That's another form of sacrifice that they do on. That's a religion. Like all these popes and Baptist preachers, they do the same shit. Look it up. There's all kinds of news stories on that. It's a religion where they rape these kids, put demons in them. That's what happens when we have intercourse. And go look it up, man.
Surprised me and caught my attention was that 5 children were recovered. That seems significant to me. How does that happen? Where were they? How do they get recovered?
So, one child is significant, as you know,
Moloch sacrificing kids. That Moloch or Baal or Remfram, that's Satan. Satan has many names. He deceived the whole world. So, but the Most High in Christ only got one name. Most High, the Father Ahia, then Christ Yeshua, that's Savior. Then Ahia is I am. So
child is just destroys families. So when the Marshal Service
they don't care, by the way.
Of
damn news
missing children, finding missing children, it's very rewarding for us. And we get to start these families on the healing process.
And folks, they said over 20 million people came over the border to undermine, under the spirit of Marxism, the whole fiber of the United States, as well as 300,000 children went missing at the border.
Yep. Trump said the same thing. Where those children going? See, back in the day, I used to be thinking, okay, they went missing, right? Their children, they went missing. They wander off. Okay, aliens, adoptions. Okay, cryptids, monsters got them, or they got injured. You know what I'm saying? Kidnappers. But that's all lies. All is government. Adrenochrome, Fountain of Youth, Moloch sacrificing them. Hey, people better wake up, man. It ain't just Satan on the earth. Third of heaven came down here, and they still following those comets, asteroids. Those are fallen angels, bro. There's nothing above the earth but heaven, bro. There's something when you go outside at night and see those fucking supposed suns or stars. Those are angels, bro. Bro, wake up. So yeah, man, they're being Moloch sacrificed, groomed, great, all kinds of shit, all kinds of wicked ass demonic. I'm telling you, it's true. Believe it or not.
Man, don't tell me the Most High isn't going to rain fire.
Exactly. Because Christ said, you do something to these children, it'd be better that you wasn't even born.
Down on Babylon. And these people are marching and
again, the Bible tells you throughout the whole Bible, don't have your kid go through the fire. Don't do this to your kid. They slew their kids in sacrifices. You know? The Canaanite god, that's Satan, Mountain Seer. 5-point, 6-point star, satanic pentagram, the Jewish people have as their flag. That's what they be doing to these kids, bro. Knowledge, power. You know, that's how they get knowledge and power and technology. Right? The more they do it, the more powerful they get. That's a religion. Then another form of that, abortion. They grape the kid. Hey. Satan's world, bro. You know? I've heard, even back in the day when I was like a pagan, I wasn't in the Bible, I heard stories about children being trafficked. I'd be like, why were they even doing that for? Epstein and all that shit, right? In churches, Catholic churches, cartel doing it, working with the government. Hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. Gotta wake up. Saving the world, man.
Keep this satanic, liberal, evil system in place against family, against all that's right according to God, and against children. It says 5 out of 20,000 children missing, and I keep on putting this out there. Make sure, brothers and sisters, especially those that have been following this church, to keep a bead on our children.
Yep. All you gotta do, just homeschool them, right? Even though that's tough, then give birth to that kid in your house. Don't go to no damn hospital, because next thing you know, they're going to be injecting something in that kid, and all of a sudden, there's something wrong. So, it is what it is, you know?
Children.
You know, at school, like, peer pressure, being the cool kid, then there's mandatory, like, healthcare situation. I have to speak in code, because I've been striked, like, 4 or 5 times speaking about the damn healthcare system. I can't directly say exactly what I want, so... That's the key to their madness, by the way. That's how they control people and get their brains messed up and unalive them and all that stuff. But, yeah, man. These schools teaching you... just best to homeschool your kid, bro, and watch everything they do. You know? It is what it is. Because next thing you know, they come back home, you got a whole different kid, bro. Come back home from college or whatever, or... you got a whole nother... your kid ain't the same, man. You know?
The people they let in, I'm going to tell you, it's straight lawlessness going on. And sisters going to have to be very careful who they're alone with.
Yep.
With all of these strangers now who hasn't...
They ain't got no laws, bro. See, that's the It's funny. People don't follow the Bible, don't like the Bible, say all this shit about the Bible, but yet there's laws. You can't grape nobody. You can't abuse nobody. You have to respect everybody. No stealing, killing, lying, no pedophilia, no homosexuality, trans, no... Bro, that's righteous, bro. It's basically treat everybody nice and good. Don't disrespect them, abuse them, don't grape them. See, all these other nations, they don't got laws. It's do without will. So to them, they can do all that shit. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in no judgment. They think they're about to be reincarnated. Who knows what they believe, right? So to them, and they're demon possessed. You already know what demons do. They war and do battle. They destroy man. So you got these people that don't believe in the Bible or Christ. Hey, who knows what's going to happen to your ass? You know what I'm saying? So people got to wake up, bro. Wake up.
Of utterly destroying
these people got no morals, bro. You gotta wake up.
Our sisters. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. And I am so glad the Most High, in the midst of tearing this whole thing down, is gathering God's people back together as one again. So there is a silver lining in this cloud. We can sit back and watch the whole thing go down while the Most High raised the children of Israel. Okay? Now, of course, eventually, because we're not participating, it's going to lead to them doing something that will, that will force people to protect themselves. Now, what that is, we're going to see. But what I'm waiting for, Elder Lawyer in particular, for a false flag blaming Israelites.
Just like 9/11. But it's funny. By the way, they did a video on 9/11 detailed, right? $20 bill before 9/11 happened. Twin Towers burning. The people they showed during 9/11 that did the terrorist attack, the 2019 Arabs or whatever that crashed the planes, half those people were in Saudi Arabia or wherever, watching themselves on TV with they were still alive in their hometown. Some are still alive today. So people gotta wake up, bro. All that shit's lies. It's all the government. It's all pre-planned. False flags. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. Was a problem, reaction, solution, and that solution is to implement laws and policies that destroy Israelites, and that's in the Bible. Babylon, Rome, Egypt. They use politics, laws and policies to destroy and undermine Israelites, Hebrews, right? So either it's an organic issue made through the Satanic Society, or they make the issue, they make the problem themselves. They'll blame somebody, demonize people. You know, they did that shit to Arab. They're about to do it to us, Israelites. So,
like in 2019, they was waving a few things out there that didn't catch fire, talking about something that happened in a supermarket next to a graveyard. Somebody who identified as an Israelite harmed somebody and somebody got killed and all that. But
I forgot. 70 AD, that's when the Romans destroyed Jerusalem, right? Off of a false flag through NATO. The Romans burnt their own cities and blamed it on Hebrews, Israelites, black people, right? They got the moral high ground, and the whole city just banded together to destroy us off of a false flag. So that's how they work. That's how they rock. There's nothing new under the sun.
never caught fire. Because everyone started examining the story and started saying, well...
Oh, yeah, and that's how we got into Africa. We're not from Africa. We was in the Middle East. We ran into Africa in 70 AD from that damn false flag because they wanted to murder us because it's a false flag. They blame it on us to go against us. That's when we ran to Africa, Atlas Mountains. Then, thousands of years later, we forgot our God and we sinned. And that's when we went on the slave ships in America to be sold to men because we broke the laws, which is sin. So that's how the Israelites got here. Because people would just skip over the Israelite part and just call us Africans or Hamites. We're not Ham. We're not African. We're Hebrews from the Middle East, bro. We're Israelites. So wake up and read the Bible.
This truly doesn't seem, this story isn't bearing out.
In Deuteronomy 20:68, it literally says slave ships into America to be sold to men, literally. So people gotta wake up.
Right? This story isn't bearing out, right? So they tried to put it out there years ago, but it didn't catch wind. But right now, with all of the foreigners they brought into the country, I believe they're going to use some of these agents and have something happen in the United States and blame it on Israelites. And once that happens, I believe that's going to be the linchpin pulled from out of the grenade. Just keep our eyes on that. A false flag claiming that Israelites are behind something. And the more I see brothers out there training publicly, saying things they aren't to say, coming off seemingly as a military or militia, all I can say is it may seem good and proud what you're doing it publicly like that.
Yep. Those radical Israelites that don't follow Christ or the Bible, all they know is that they're Israelites. They're saying all this crazy crap. They're saying all this crazy shit, claim to be Israelites. So they're gonna call us terrorists using that one group. And that group they're trying to bundle us up into one giant pot when we have nothing to do with them. What they say we don't agree with, right? But that's how they demonize us, And And that's what the media and the news, they keep promoting and advertising those radical Israelites, black Hebrew Israelites and all this. All white people, this, devil's going to hell and all this. Bro, that's not the Bible, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll want you, like, this black man Israelite stuff, they'll want you to look at them. Because they don't believe in Christ or follow the Bible. They really don't. Instead of people like them right here that actually do follow the Bible. But, you know, it is what it is. They're going to keep demonizing us
right now, but I don't think it's going to serve the mission you're on rightly down the line. It's going to be used against you. So be wise as serpents, harmless as a dove. What I can do, because I really have no time for any conversations right.
Yeah, those radical Israelites, they be saying some crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff that's not in the Bible and not Christ-like at all. And they're going to use these fringe little groups to go against the whole bunch. And they're going to say they all think like this when we don't. All the white man this. Or we're going to rape you and kill you. That's not the Bible, bro. We don't do that. That's not the Bible. That's not Christ. But they are in the Bible, then they are Israelites, so they're just going to, they don't follow. It's just like religions or Christianity. They got the book, but they're definitely not following it because what they're saying is not in the damn book. All they know is that they're Israelites, right? That's all they know, but they ain't following the Bible or Christ. They really aren't. Because Christ in the Bible doesn't condone violence. Vengeance is of the Lord. We don't fight nothing. There was an example of what happened when we tried to fight. We got destroyed. We're not supposed to harm people, be violent, or none of that stuff. So when they say all these threats, it's like, where are you getting that from? Then they say like all white people, this, that, that. It's like, where are you? That's not the Bible. So they're going to use those crazy radical people that are proclaiming to be Israelites to go against the real Israelites that are really following the Bible. So it is what it is.
Right now, but what I will do, I can open it up for two Zooms, because I said I would do so. 2 Zoom participants to come on in. What say you concerning anything that we've talked about today? The floor is yours. If you have a question or comment, now is your time. Right? Now is your time. What I can do here. Week 7, right, Elder Lawyer? Scamming the community and moved around with him in Huntsville, Alabama. We do. I'm going to tell you right now, Elder Lawyer, the Christian churches are up in arms with Drewski. With him actually hanging. They showed him hanging from the sky, being moved around.
Yeah, that dude's a pagan, by the way. See, people use this right here. They use something like this to demonize the Bible, demonize Christians. Like, this will have people throw away the Bible when this is not biblical at all. It's not biblical. It's the cross, and like people see this and it's like they throw away the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got pastors talking about, I need $10,000 or nobody can leave or some bullshit like that, right? None of that's all satanic. None of that's in the Bible. And people don't, it's almost like they want an excuse to sin or something or not follow the Bible, because people know this shit ain't in the Bible. Read the Bible yourself. Tell me where in the Bible does it say you need to give somebody $10,000 or whatever. Or there's a cross or holidays or Christ is white. Like, none of that shit's in the Bible, bro. Or virgin birth. or Holy Trinity, Jewish people. Like, none of that stuff is in the Bible, bro. People don't read the Bible, bro. They really don't.
Out of the air, and it's about these preachers and how they are, scamming the community. And man, they're up in arms right now. But there's nothing that he did a parody on that didn't exist. It's actual parody of actual actions within the Christian church right now. So,
right.
Then people will throw away. See, people think the Bible is religion. It's not. It's not Christianity or Catholic or any denomination. Bible's true religions are lies. People will see something messed up in Christianity and they'll throw the Bible away too with the religion when the Bible has nothing to do with that stuff, bro. I'm telling you.
All right. So if you want to come in now. Nicole Brown. Parody on that didn't exist. Okay, how you doing, Nicole? Can you mute the background?
Absolutely. This is Preacher's daughter.
Shalom. How are you doing, sister?
I'm doing well. I'm always tuning in and always. I'm telling you, this lesson that you and Elder Lawyer did, it's just what I needed. I don't know if you remember about a year or two ago, I had called in and told you just some of the things that I had heard concerning, our brothers and sisters within the tribes and all of this mess that we're now seeing come about. And I am just so glad that you're covering this because you all are my leaders. And so I was feeling a certain type of way, but the way that you've just been coming with these lessons and explaining, and I know that I'm not wrong with the way that I feel, and it helps me, it has helped me, to still have that love, but to also be very vigilant as to what's going on. So I thank God for you and Elder Lawyer bringing clarity to all of this. And we're just going to keep going and keep doing what we're doing. But I did want to ask you, what was the name again of that minister? He was like one of the first ministers, I think in the 1700s. And he was actually teaching this doctrine. I think
Gabriel Prosser.
Gabriel Prosser, okay.
Prosser.
Okay, all right. That's what I needed to know. Okay. But I thank you so much for everything. We just have to stay prayed up. We are under attack, but the Most High is moving. And another thing that you brought out tonight, when we send our children to school, we have to keep them and make sure that they have a solid foundation. Some people have a form of godliness, but they don't have the true spirit of the Most High. So when we hear people talking like,
it's not rocket science, really. It's just being like the cool kids, peer pressure. They'll try to get you on some drugs. They'll try to have you fornicate with some girls, virgin and all this shit. Getting high and just doing wicked ass shit, right? That's why you better be homeschooled. Then there's all these mandatories to the healthcare system. You have to get this or you can't go to school, which it's like, okay, if I get this, I'm going to be destroyed. So I'm not getting that. I just want to go. So it's in school teaching you lies too. Outside the basics, it's all lies. So it's like, I don't know, man. Then you got sicknesses, which are demons, all that stuff. The food messed up, right? Yeah, man. It's public schools. It's actually pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have never been as sick as I was in damn school. I was always sick as shit. It's demons, bro. All these demons walking around. People are demon possessed, like it or not. Those sicknesses are demons, man. So. Oh yeah, now you gotta deal with the teachers and principals too. because they're like pagans too. Like it's wild. You gotta look at the education they're learning, who's teaching them. Like it's crazy. It was more tame back in the day, but nowadays it's really bad. So yeah, and I've heard stories like it's better just to homeschool, because even outside of all that stuff they teach you, it's like, bro, some of these kids, man, they are sin nerds, bro. You be doing some crazy shit at school, bro. Trust me. You be better off having them at home, man. Your child come home one day completely different. You don't know what happened. A demon got up in there. You know? Especially these fucking women and shit. These fine women. They definitely need to stay at home. Cause you know how many men be popping up, bro? A fine girl at school? You'll have the whole school ask around and shit, bro. That shit ain't good, man. That shit ain't good. Cause you already know what's gonna happen. At that point, send.
Right. It could be this or that. These universities are here to actually program. And if you don't have the right type of education, spiritual education, you will fall for anything. I have family members who went to universities, claims to know the Most High. And I mean, their ideology, their way of thinking is just like out of this world. I'm like, that's not what the Bible says, you know, but these institutions have damaged us. So, you know, brothers and sisters out there, if just make sure that when you send your children to school, that they have the proper spiritual foundation found through the Gathering of Christ Church, so they won't fall for anything. And I'll leave it with that, because I know, you know, you all work hard. So thank you for...
Well, you're welcome, sister. There's few things I wanted to touch on. Number one, going back, I'm going to work my way backward. You're saying be careful with the... With leaving our children in school and not understand the intent of some of these people who we might believe have our children's best interest at heart. With that, there's been a change in our modern day satanic schools. The public schools, opposed to the schools that we grew up in, like in the 80s and 90s.
Completely different.
A matter of fact, Duckery at 15th and Diamond, across from where I lived, was really a highly decorated school where the children there was graduating on a higher level than even suburban kids. We were getting awards and all of that. And one of the reasons why that our public schools could compete is because we had a pastor. I'll never forget his name.
Yeah, they took away the Bible and shit from school too. It's terrible.
Pastor Sylvester was a pastor up the street who was the principal over the school. So it was like the community and the tight-knit spiritual connection didn't stop at the school door. Now, what better way of knowing that the school is in the right hands than you have a pastor as your principal? That's number one. Number two, there's something changed within the dynamics of our schools going back then. Back then, the only person that had a psychology background were the counselors, right? So if children had problems or whatever, you had a counselor who could guide you through certain things and could be an advocate between you and the parent. Well, the majority of school teachers today are taught some level of child psychology or psychology as a prerequisite before becoming a teacher. And that more so is more dangerous than anything. Because psychology, you can use psychology as a way of deceit and making the parents think that everything is okay when you are around, but yet they have other evil intent against you that you'll never figure out. And by doing so, when your child come home with behavior problems, they'll make you believe it's the child. when it's really the system in place they're bucking up against. They're rebelling against because they feel like they're in a war, a psychological war, every time they go to school. And it be these teachers. So the psychology thing and tricking us continually into trusting them is an issue. We didn't have that growing up because the only people who needed psychology classes back then were the counselors. Right? But now they turned all of the teachers into these, I would say, wards of the state who push the agenda, the liberal agenda of the state, damaging our children. So it's upon us as adults to do the background checks and understand what's going on with these teachers. When you know your teachers, I mean, think about this. The children are, I'm talking about when it comes to real time. They spend more real time with the teachers than their own parents. By the time they see their parents, the parents is hugging them, tucking them in to go to bed so that they, go to work the next day.
Right.
So the quality building time is normally with a stranger. So it's upon us to know that stranger to some degree. Whatever steps we need to take to feel comfortable with the strangers we leaving our children with. Whatever steps we need to take, right? That's important. The next thing is, you were saying here that you used to feel a certain type of way without expounding about who. Based on what's going on in the earth today, you used to feel a certain type of way, but with this particular platform, with our lessons, it's helping you to have a balanced perspective in things, right?
Absolutely.
So what in particular you used to feel a certain type of way about? You didn't expound on that in particular.
Okay, and I may have told you this before, but I started out with my journey. I started out with the Hidden Colors. Then I went from the Hidden Colors to Black in America, I think it's a professor from Harvard, a black man, and he did that little series. And then my cousin turned me on to you, which was strange. And so once I found out who I was, and not only who I was, but all of these other people who were related to us, such as Issachar and Simeon and the Haitians and all of these people, I was like, oh man, like we all people. So when I would interact with people, I was like, oh, we the same people. We the same people. And they would look at me like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no, we the same people. And if I had time, I would kind of go into, little details and stuff. And then, social media is a blessing and a curse. And then I started seeing and started actually witnessing how I was being treated by some of Jacob's children, and I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. This is where my family originated from. So we got that Southern hospitality. You're going to leave our house with something. You know what I'm saying? Even if we don't have much, you're going to leave with something. So I believe in that you treat others how you want to be treated. And so when I started to see these things, and then I was watching certain podcasts of how our people were being treated in California and being ran out of California, it started having me to feel a certain kind of way. And I didn't want to feel like that, you know, and that's when I called you the first time and told you, you know, about these things that I was witnessing and actually experiencing. And so I was, you know, praying. I was like, you know, Yeshaya, I do not want to feel like this about people. And how am I to feel about this? You know, I'm going to turn the other cheek, but how am I supposed to interact and go on my daily life when I interact with so many different types of people every day? And so when this past year, you've just been coming and you've been exposing. And it's nothing but the Holy Spirit working through you, because everything I needed and everything I need now, you're just bringing it forth. It's like, it's nobody but the Most High that's bringing His Spirit and feeding us what we need, because we need this on everyday life. I love learning about the Bible history and things like that, but I need to know how to live day by day, because this is a whole new America.
Yeah.
This is a whole new America.
It'll never go back to what it was. It's over. Yeah. It's over.
This ain't the heat of the night.
Well, sister,
you know what I'm saying? The heat of the night, it was black.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson said it's black.
Yeah.
It's white. It's BMW. Yeah. It's no longer that.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Life was so simpler when we were coming up. It was simpler. And it was an environment in which it leaned us towards trusting others, because at least we understood the dynamic. Even if there was racism, the fight was only towards one way or the other. It was just one fight. But they just compiled all of these layers to it to a degree where we just have to be careful. Now, let me say this real quick. And then another thing we have to be careful, because Esau is slick, is because at one time, YouTube and these other social platforms, it was open without an algorithm to allow you to explore beyond the boundaries of what you would normally dive into, right? So when I say be careful, because when you see certain things that frustrate you, that you know, what I found out by looking at YouTube, I would open up something and everything is related to the same thing, as if they want you to live in an echo chamber. Mm-hmm. Without actually expounding beyond the one little area they try to pigeonhole you. They don't want you to think outside of the box. And if there's something that's frustrating you, the algorithm will only give you that. Mm-hmm. And now you're dealing with an echo chamber, believing that the world exists that way, right? And that's the danger of a lot of these divisions that's in the earth, where they're giving you on a regular basis what keeps us divided. I have enough relationships with the 12 tribes in particular within the church, loving people, where I would lay down my life for them, and I know they would do the same for me. Right. Where there's nothing that I go into that's going to give me a bias against my people, strictly because there's some evil people out there, not just amongst them, but amongst all races of people. So brothers and sisters, sometimes you have to put things on your computer that you don't even normally look at, just so that you can have, so the algorithm don't pigeonhole you into one thought or idea. It's profiling, and it's keeping you from what? From growing beyond the paradigm one makes for themselves. So you have to become more cultured, more diverse, if that's the word, and cultured into different dynamics outside of what just interests you. Therefore, they can't build an algorithm that's going to make you feel a certain type of way about other people. If I see videos all day of how women just aren't no good and they doing this and doing that, you know, they're going to look at that and be like, yo, I need that algorithm on him. And I'm looking around thinking that women are the worst thing on earth when it's really the algorithm feeding that, when guess what? We have women in our family that we know is nothing like what they're feeding on the algorithm. We have aunts, wives, daughters. We have people who care about us. And guess what? They'll never feed us the virtuous woman on an algorithm. So they're trying to divide the 12 tribes, so they will not, they'll always show us gangs, criminals, rapers, and all of that. And the same reason, the same way I'll stand up against them trying to propagate or promote us this way, I'm not going to go for them with their algorithm making us believe that all of the 12 tribes are gang members, killers, murderers, and all that. Now, do they exist? Do they let enough over here? Yes. But we are still we must stay balanced, right? But it's the algorithm. I mean, some women out there, I know it for sure, they feel a certain type of way about men when they didn't even have the experience of a man doing anything wrong to them. But you know what? It's the algorithm. You know what? Oh man, that's a lesson in of itself. The algorithm of the beast. That's a lesson.
Yes, sir.
Woo! Hold on. Let's chill for a second, sister. The algorithm of the beast. Man, that's going to be a deep situation there. All right, sister, I got one more person, and then I made me some, Elder Lawyer, I made me some Mediterranean kebabs. I got something important to tend to as soon as I get off of here, but hey.
Done.
Thank you, sister. Just come on in Friday and we'll continue this discussion.
I'm a petroleum.
All right. Thank you, sister. Bless you.
God bless you.
All right. The algorithm of the beast. Oh, that's gonna be. Hey, that's gonna be some heat right there. All right.
And it's definitely necessary.
Yeah.
To understand how this thing is working and how it can
you
feed
hear me?
pretty much.
Hold up, sister.
Hello?
What you in it?
Oh, go ahead, lawyer. Say something. Hold on, sister.
Saying, yeah, that's
No, go ahead, lawyer.
necessary.
You were saying it was
I'm
important.
just saying that's a necessity right there. You definitely need that to understand how we're being force-fed information based on what we watch, and it keeps us with this jaded view and this very narrow, shallow view.
Hey, sister, do me a favor. Just hold on for 1 second. Don't mute, but I'm gonna bring you in 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead, lawyer. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say what you're saying.
Yeah, just how like you're mentioning, this algorithm, you watch certain videos and that's all it's feeding you, and it keeps you with this jaded, shallow view about the world around you. Sometimes you gotta just turn this thing off and just go outside and deal with people regularly to realize that things are not, yes, there's evil in the world, yes, there's bad in the world, but things ain't as they're being fed through this algorithm as you were stating. So that lesson is a necessity.
Yeah, because if you see these things over and over again, it will shape a perception and it give you a jaded idea of the world.
Right.
Right. So we have to be careful with that, because we think these feeds are just coming up, but a lot of these feeds are intentional. And that's why sometimes, man, listen, I have to turn this stuff off, and I'll put on something that'll make me laugh.
Right.
Right. I'll just put on something. I'm like, listen, because I can't go through the world. See, I'm glad I got the Bible as a balance, because you'll go through the world paranoid, thinking that everyone's your enemy and all of that. And now it's getting in the way of you actually taking advantage of the little life we have left here.
Exactly. That's right.
Right. Thank you, my brother. All right.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sister? Talk to me.
I'm doing well, thank you. So first, thank you for having me. This is the first time on the call, and my sister invited me, so I'm very grateful. It's been wonderful. I've got quite a few points to what you were saying, but the last thing you were talking about is the algorithms for 2025. The Oxford Dictionary for the word was rage baiting. So these platforms, the way they are creating all this antagonistic stuff, it was designed by plan. In 2022, the Oxford word was gaslighting. That's a psychological term. So what's interesting is I didn't grow up in the church, but for 14 years I was under a Word of Faith ministry, and it was interesting because God brought me out of that, and for a while I worked in the community. But what's interesting, the last 8 years I've been studying psychology, and psychology is the study of the mind. But the interesting thing is God made the mind. And so it stops in the soul with the in psychology. You are a spirit, you have a soul, you live in this body. And so the battle that we're fighting is spiritual. So they are using psychology for really what is a spiritual problem. And a lot of times with all of the anxiety, it depends on the generation. So what's interesting, if you look at how long this system's been going in place, you have 5 generations right now that are still on the planet, and each one has a different psychology depending on the era. So you have the baby boomers. The baby boomers were actually raised by grandparents and parents that came out of the Great Depression. So a lot of them, the way it was suppressed, they had no talk shows. They emotionally didn't really nurture, and this wasn't in our community because all we had was each other. So a lot of what they saved, it wasn't just because they wanted to have the money, it was they felt no one was coming. So what's happening now is they're living longer, but then you have the Gen X. That was where latchkey came in. That's when the women started going to work, single parenting. And so that generation basically was more emotionally neglected. So then you have the millennials. That's when computer system was first designed. Gen Z right now is that's the younger generation that was raised on computers.
Sister, hold on, before somebody just called in, but I need you to check something out, sister. How old are you?
Me, I am 59.
59. Let me share something with you for the sake of the brothers and sisters that are on real quick, all right? You with me?
Absolutely.
All right, this is from the National Library of Medicine. All right? The National Library of Medicine. Let me go here. A lot of people probably didn't know this. From the National Library of Medicine, and a matter of fact, I'll make sure I'll put this in the chat so that others can have access to it afterward. The National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology and Information. Right? The frontiers in psychology. Number one, they needed to find a science that would have people make decisions outside of their better conscience.
Man-made.
So listen to me. Especially a country initially that was built on what they would call Judeo-Christian values. That comes with some substance, some morality, some accountability. So how can we get people who would resist the mark of the beast, who believe in God, who's looking for this, to one day decide it's okay to take it? So they had 100 years to put something in place where normal people who would reject the mark of the beast would actually take it. Like, for instance, it was psychology that caused all these faith-believing Christians to take the jab. I
didn't take it, but I'm
saying, listen to me. But it was It was psychology.
Yes.
Through fear. So why am I going
Yes.
here? When you go into National Library of Medicine, here is the origin of psychology. Background. Conjurers are masters of illusion and deception. And they have developed astonishing methods of manipulating. One day decide it's okay to take it. So they technology and information. Right? To it afterward. The National Library of Medicine, National Center for Biotechnology and Information. Right? The frontiers in psychology. Number one, they needed to find a science that would have people make decisions outside of their better conscience.
Man-made.
So listen to me. Especially a country initially that was built on what they would call Judeo-Christian values. That comes with some substance, some morality, some accountability. So how can we get people who would resist the mark of the beast, who believe in God, who's looking for this, to one day decide it's okay to take it? So they had 100 years to put something in place where normal people who would reject the mark of the beast would actually take it. Like, for instance, it was psychology that caused all these faith-believing Christians to take the jab.
I didn't take it, but I get you.
I'm saying, listen to me. But it was psychology.
Yes.
Through fear. So why am I going here? When you go into National Library of Medicine, here is the origin of psychology. Background. Conjurers are masters of illusion and deception. And they have developed astonishing methods of manipulating our experience. Intuitively, the link between magic and psychology seems obvious. Magicians use techniques such as misdirection to manipulate our attention. Illusions to distort our perception and forcing to influence our decisions. Some of the early pioneers in psychology, who's Bennett, 1894, Triplett in 1900, recognized this close link between magic and psychology and published fascinating scientific papers investigating conjuring techniques. Now, here's the danger of psychology. To a trusting person or believer. Think about this. When someone come to them in the posture of concern, a trusting person internalize that and convince themselves this person cares more about what we're dealing with here as I do. Now, if you got someone that's trying to convince you to do something and can assume that posture as an actor, that's when psychology is dangerous, because it's used as a tool of manipulation. After studying the nature of people, you are using your knowledge of psychology to get an intended outcome. That's trickery.
which is what happened during the pandemic, and it's just what you said, because what they unleashed was a spirit of fear. And so when people are afraid, they can be manipulated, because if you look at all that they kept putting on the media was the death things, right? They didn't see what the natural immune system did. They didn't do a lot of things. So what was interesting, there's a percentage that says, like God says in his word, Hosea 4:6, my people perish for lack of knowledge, or lack of under vision, right? So because that keeps you disciplined, it keeps you on track. So what they have found, like 80% of people, I'm sorry, it's 80% of people don't have a vision. Okay, that's 80% of most people don't have a vision. And this is just in general numbers. 15% of people have a vision, but they haven't written it down. 4% of people have a vision written down, but they don't.
Hey, sister. So what do you mean? Because listen. Because this is a broadcast.
Because what I'm getting at, I'm going back to the word, because what I'm showing.
Hold on. Sister, back up. Calm down for a second. I'm not going to stop you from. But this is a broadcast. What we do here is edify. So,
but I'm going to that. What I'm saying to you is because I had been in the Word, and I had been like I understand the Most High. That was where
sister, I need you to slow down for a second.
I'm not. Okay, I'm just passionate. I'm sorry. So,
now, hey, sister, let me speak.
Okay.
When you say 15% of something, where are you getting these numbers?
Okay, so these numbers are, and I'm going back to if you're in the system, not God's system, because God had, when you looking into his word, he gives you a vision. I'm saying that this is why there's a difference. Like, for instance, for me, what has been broken down for me is understanding.
Sister, did you hear my question?
The numbers? All of this stuff is like, unless they change it, like the psychology of all this stuff, the subconscious and how the mind works.
Okay.
And so going back to what you were just saying, as far as like the magic behind it and how it's manipulative.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. This is not where I put my faith. I'm just saying that because of the way that I work with people, so I work holistically with people in regards to physical health and fitness, right? And it's more holistic. And so for me, it's like I work with the people coming in. I'm definitely about their spirit, but when they come in, when people first come in, they're coming in from this world system, right? They're coming in for exercise. But the first thing is to get them, it's centered around breath. Well, we know breath is pneuma, that's your spirit. And then your ruach, right? So then you have your mind, which is psyche, or suke, which is mind, will, and emotions. This is where they manipulate. That's why I said we're in a spiritual law, a spiritual war. But what they're doing now is bringing people out of the spiritual to manipulate with psychology, even in the churches, right? So what I'm saying is, according to these numbers, that most people don't have a vision, because like you said, they're giving it to them through the algorithms, through what they're pumping up with entertaining and getting your attention. So that's what the masses, and when I'm speaking of the masses, not people who are awakened and understand the Most High, have a relationship and getting download and understanding. We're talking.
Man, she's definitely a philosopher
of how things are going, and so.
Well, this is the problem with philosophy right here. She studied 8 years in philosophy. Well, this is the problem with philosophy. No edification, just yapping. Really, like, I don't know what she's talking about.
So it's kind of like a boxer. It's like you study, you don't put your focus on the enemy, but knowing the trace that we're not ignorant of how the mind is programmed with everything that's been put out. So the reason I'm saying that, because even in some of the bigger churches sometimes now, they're teaching psychology. And it's study of the mind. You're in the soul realm. You have to wash your body, feed your body. You have a mind that is programmed by this world, and then we have our spirit, right? And so one of the things that I've noticed is, like, when people, the first thing is to get them back connected to the spirit, or to get if they're called, right? And so just like you were talking business-wise, so my studio, I have been in my studio now for 15 years. It's my 16th year. And what's funny is, since I've been there, everyone in my complex is foreign. Everyone now is foreign. And it's a higher end complex, right? And in a higher end neighborhood, right? So what's interesting is what is happening now. There was one studio next to me with one Caucasian man that was left. He's downsized and moved to the back. On the left, one side of me, I have Armenian. On the side that's empty, there were Filipinos coming in today. On the other side of that is Indian people. So going back to what you're saying, I had someone knock on my door today, and she's like, hey, I want to come in. You do Pilates, right? And I said, so I don't teach classes. So she goes, well, I don't either. So the one, she said, I'm gonna be honest with you. She's like, I have 2 studios in India and I want to see what you're doing. And I said, no, you can't. She goes, well, I teach privates too. And she goes, I want to come in for some inspiration ideas. I said, no, you're not coming in here. If you do your own thing, go where you do what you do. So getting back to what you were saying, where all of these foreigners are coming in, they're getting money to open businesses. Not even Caucasians are left in the building. And I just plead the blood and the high calling, because I'm like, no, in my building, the way it is, my office is on the corner. I said, this is the cornerstone, because the way my suite is, you can see my building from both places. But the infiltration of, like you said, it's not just in their country where they take your ideas.
Hey, sis, I'm with you, but we're gonna have to land this because it's midnight. What?
Okay,
how
so
how you want to wrap it up?
I just wanted to say I am in agreement with you that I'm just so thankful, because you opened my eyes to stuff I didn't know that I was looking at. And so I know I'm just going because I'm passionate, because it's like all this stuff I knew and I was watching, but tonight you confirmed it to me. And it's just like, this stuff is really happening. And a lot of times when you talk to people that profess to have the faith, they don't understand. And it's like this, it's just, I'm thankful. And I just want to say that you confirm what the Spirit of God has been leading me to. And like, this is my first time listening.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff just makes so much sense. So thank you.
Well, thank you, sis. I know it's so much you want to get out at one time, but you'll have time for it. Welcome.
This was fire.
Welcome.
This was fire.
Welcome to the
Thank
truth,
you.
sister.
Thank you.
Believe me, a lot of dots will be connected for you here. So, welcome to the truth. Bless you. I bless you. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sometimes it's so overwhelming when we find the truth. We tend to look for but can't find the words to say, and we have to be patient with one another, because he had so many ideas going on at one time, but all of her intentions are good. I could tell. But there's a lot of emotions going on at one time, and you only have a few minutes to cram it in. So that's why I wanted to give it some level, a path where we can get some edification out of it. But in a nutshell, it's making sense how her whole world has changed right up from under, where the demographics of the people she once knew, these people no longer exist, and now she's living in a new Babylonian world that she must adjust herself under. And that's why the Most High have her here. This thing is a wrap. Okay, so if you don't have the understanding, I mean, like I said during the academy, Elder, this is no time to be in the dark concerning what's going on in the earth. And blessed are our eyes to see and ears to hear, because we're going to need each other through this. Right? Right now, it's all posturing. But soon, it's going to be real out here. These people aren't here just to get a piece of the American dream. They're here for their final war against the children of Jacob. But the Most High going to have them stomped on. Okay? Thank you, Other Lawyer, and thank you for, staying up some extra time with us. And hey, that concludes our broadcast. And let me now end it with the Most High is calling back Israel. We are the children of Israel, and yes, we are back. We'll see you on Patreon this coming Friday. Shalom. Thank you, Other Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Shalom.
Thank you, Mrs. Andrea, for your support. Blessings. All right, Elder Lawyer. Have a great evening.
You too.
Ahai is calling back Israel.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, and Valley from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans. Ahai is gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us. At gunpoint. Together our wives and children.
Denied police.